we are back in the Sunless Sea. So the last time we were here, we had just made ourselves a fortune on the surface. Unfortunately, that fortune came at a bit of a cost in that the cafe we were actually using to trade up there got burnt down, I believe, by its own owner. So our major source of income, our lovely, sort of free cost there, free production of Echo has been lost. We do still have other options if we do end up going to the surface for things. They're just a little bit more risky. One option is to get empty mirror catch boxes and go up to the surface to fill them up with sunlight. That does increase our, I think yearning burning is the menace associated with that. Yes, yearning burning. That does increase that, and apparently once that gets a little too high, bad things start to happen, as undoubtedly all of these menaces probably give. Yeah, I don't think there's a single one of these, especially not this one, not Nightmare Strength. Not a single one that is something positive here. But we also went and completed most of the Printables quest in Port Cecil. We have picked up quite a few options. I think the Principals requested 5-ish options. Yes, 5 options. And we have collected 4 of them. The Wakeful Idol, which we got over from Polythreme after converting a Watchful Idol, I think, over in Polythreme. Delivered that. Delivered a Hunting Trophy. Delivered an Ambiguous Eolith, which I think we picked up from up in Mount Palmerston here. And last but not least, we delivered a Heart Metal Ingot, which we got a... what we were hoping was going to be a Tomb Colonist, but was in fact just a long box from the Shepherd Isles, and traded that over in Station 3. And that got us a Heart Metal Ingot, which we then delivered there. The only thing we have left for that is a Colossal Fluke Core. So we do have to fight off a fluke. They've got a weird eldritch attack. The one time that we've really interacted with them, and I think we were actually just trying to run away the whole time too. They had like a circle of runes that they used to attack us, and I don't quite remember what it did, but I do remember I very much did not like it. Though I'm not sure whether that was just from visuals or from anything else. We also do need fluke cores, colossal fluke cores for our bandaged poissonnier. We need either a colossal fluke core or an elegiac cockatoo from him, or for him rather, to continue on his little quest line there. So we do end up having to fight a couple of flukes. There is one known for sure. I believe that's around Fathom King's Hold down here. We've seen it around this area specifically. Though we also said that of Behemoth Stashes, which was one of which was by Port Carnelian, but that one has long since disappeared. It is nowhere to be found for some reason. So we may end up having to roam around here to look for those flukes. And I think the flukes are pretty hardy creatures as well. I think they have something around 500 or 600 health, which I am very unsettled by, especially if it has a ranged attack. Because with ships and stuff, you can get out of their way of their ranged attacks by staying kind of on their rear. I do believe there are some aft weapons, but I assume, judging by the aft weapons that we actually have access to, that they are not all that great, that they don't compare. Because we do have, I believe, some aft weapons here. Yeah, like this one. And that does, it does a fair bit of damage, but compared to forward weapons... Actually, forget what I said. That compares to forward weapons very good. Very, very well. That said, forward and deck weapons can only fire forwards, and I think most ships, I assume, unless they're kind of starter ships, would probably have one or both that are pretty powerful. With Z-Beasts, it's not so simple. With Z-Beasts, you kind of get stuck backing away. That's been my primary strategy, just keep them on the very edge of our range and slowly keep backing away the whole time, hoping that they don't actually smack you. But if they have a ranged attack, I kind of doubt they would have the same restrictions that ships would have. No Z beast. Well, most Z beasts for the most part are pretty non-directional. They can turn around basically at the blink of an eye. So any forward-only weapon is probably going to be turned towards us pretty fast. So we'll have to figure out how to do that. But I do think I will take on some Lorn Flukes here. To that effect, I might want to pick up some more crew. Because the crew that we have is all right. I think we can run the ship at full power at about 17 crewmen, which means we do have 4 crewmen to spare right now. But if we are fighting Z-Beasts and our ship's health goes below halfway, I believe every hit starts losing us crew, which is not good. Not good at all. I don't recall how hard Lorn Flukes hit. I do remember they have lots of health, so it's more than likely it will start getting to half damage. And I don't want to lose too many crews so that I'm only running at half speed. That would end poorly, very poorly. So we do still want to have some crew overhead, let's say, when we go and take those on. So we'll want to go and pick up some more crew here. I believe the last time we came to Fallen London, you'll notice that our terror is actually at 0. That is because we were pronounced heroes in a song or an announcement or something, because we did secure Fallen London's hold over Port Carnelian. We finally used our influence over there, our spy network, to influence Port Carnelian to be subservient, to be closely allied with London, let's say. I'm not quite sure if they're subservient to London, but we've used our spy network to nudge it that way, and so there was kind of a party for us once we got back home. That's why our terror is at 0 right now, but at least we don't have to worry about that. Unfortunately, I was sort of planning on worrying about that at least a little bit because I believe it's in the journal here, our nightmare strength is absurdly high. We've been trying to RNG it to fight it off, and the last time that we did, it actually shot our terror up by something like 50 terror, and I thought we were totally safe, but it shot it up by like 50 terror. It actually got us mutinied on over by the Cumaean Canal. So I think I'm just going to stop trying to get a secret out of that. The chance that we have just continually goes down. I don't know of any other way to get rid of this other than that by taking those chances whenever it comes around. Maybe there's a way. And if there is, somebody please let me know. I'm so sick of this. At 5 is what you can actually convert it to a secret. That's the check there. And we've got 10 right now. We've actually got double the amount. We're going to have to slowly chip away at it. At this point, I don't even know if we are going to be able to, considering its strength. But we'll be doing that with restful nights. Let's see here. Which I do believe we have. Yes, we've only got 2. Which is really not great. Not great at all. But we just can't get rid of them fast enough. If we succeed on any of those checks, we reduce it by 5. At this point, we're already stuck over 5, though. And our chances are dwindling towards the single digits. So they are really, really not doing great. But that'll just be something we have to worry about at sea. That'll be when we fight Lorn Flukes or something. Hopefully it won't come up in an inopportune moment. If it does, well, we're kind of just screwed on that. Our captain has gotten very far. We've gotten very, very far indeed. We've cleared off a lot of officers' quest lines. Our Clattery Air is all done. That's where we got the Clattery Heart, our lovely ship. I think the Bandaged Poissonnier is probably almost done. We've done quite a few requests for him at this point. Fed him quite a few food-ish items, live specimens, strange catches. Sailed him across the map over to the Chelinet and a few other places. And I assume that these items, Colossal Fluke Core or an Elegiac Cockatoo, are pretty endgame items, especially if you have to fight the Flukes to go get them. That seems like something that will be one heck of a trial. So I assume that this is sort of an endgame for him. And I assume that's that will mean his quest line is almost done. We have also finished the Brisk Campaigner, now the Indomitable Campaigners quest line, as well as Maybe's rival here. So we are doing all right. But we also have to figure out what to do with all these echoes we had. Since we are, I think, reaching the end game, we do have somewhat accessible end game activities that we can undertake. That being the founding of a kingdom over in Aestival. Aestival, Aeshaven? I think it's Aestival. For which we have one of two options. Irem, which requires a mirror catch box and all of our stats being over 100. At this point, I really don't think that's a viable solution. We've been gaining them slowly, but it's really a distant trek to get all of these to 100. Even if we're using secrets, it's going to be upgraded one at a time. Secrets are very rare. We come across them very rarely, and our fragment gain is not great either. So I think that's probably the less likely option. I think our better choice is with the Commodore over in the Grand Geode. He works with the Dawn Machine. He's with those shiny folk, and he requires some vital intelligence, which is easy enough to pick up. 7 crewmates, which he'll probably eat or something. I don't understand what the Dawn Machine people are at all. 50 supply, which we actually have the capability of carrying nowadays, and we can actually go and get them for fairly cheap up in the surface, up on the surface, where it's only 5 per supply. Beyond that, he also needs the figurehead of the Eater of Names. The Eater of Names, I believe, is a ship that is around the Chelinet. I think that's about boss level. I can't recall what its health was. I don't think I ever took a look at it. But it is a boss ship over there. We at least know where it is. And last but not least, a Dread Surmise. And a Dread Surmise, I have no clue where to find. We do know that it is exchanged for these Searing Enigmas here. We do know that those turn into Dread Surmises, but as to where, I've got no clue. I think Irem trades from Dread Surmises to Searing Enigmas, but that's not it. I think the Alarming Scholar actually had a Dread Surmise request here. Yeah. So I assumed was asking for a Dread Surmise. It actually looks like she is requesting Searing Enigmas. So maybe she knows how to exchange these for a Dread Surmise. Maybe she is the one that exchanges this for a Dread Surmise. But it also looks like we can only do this once. Presumably, she will disappear, and all these other trades will also disappear. The Lump of Blue Scintillic. We have already gotten the color from that. I believe that was Apossian. Because we already did pick up one from before, and I have not seen any trades for this. I may actually hand this in to her. No, we got plenty of cash. We got tons of echo, so we'll just sit on that. Sit on most of these, just in case of the event where we actually need them for some other reason. It's also not one of the objects that is taking up space in our cargo hold, so I don't need to get rid of that at all. But as for our plans for today, I do want to get a few things out of the way. I will obviously go hunting for Lorn Flukes down here. I think we saw one maybe around the Swallowing Isles, Melting Isles area. Somewhere else over on the east side of the map. Maybe or even around the Sea of Lilies or something there. But we have seen more Lorn Flukes, so we can at least get those 2 cores. I'm thinking of going, since we're heading down here, heading over to Adam's Way and maybe sailing off the south edge of the map. Our terror is now set at 0, so if there is a terror cost, I think we should be able to pay it, at least for a little while. And we do have the Clattery Heart, a living ship that should not be affected, I assume, by that bloody water. I think somebody in Adam's Way mentioned that you needed a living ship to do that, so I think we can sail off there without taking too much damage or taking any damage at all, which we were taking on our previous ships. So we'll probably head down there. We might head over to Varkas just to check in with the little village that's over there outside of the walls, because the city walls have been shut to outsiders, which I don't know was the correct option. I'm kind of second guessing the decision that I made to support the priesthood there, because I think we have totally lost access to Varkas now. So we'll have to go and deal with that. Beyond that, we do want to go progress some of our crew's officers' quests. We were, I believe, talking to, where is she? Carnelian Exile for a little bit, talking about the Names Prison and all this. She actually asked us to sail off the east side of the map, but oh, we can actually do this for free. I don't know if we've ever spoken to her about Names Prison. So let's go ask about that. Speak to the Exile about the Names Prison. How will you breach it? Where will you find? When will you find it? Behind her glasses, you sense somehow that she has closed her eyes. You must have mastered the map, she says softly, and entered in the house of every power. And you'll need to bring a burning truth to match the burning name. So that's probably a searing enigma, or assuming it's along the same lines, a dread surmise. Where and what would be a house of every power? That's power with a capital P. Do we have anything here that would match with that? I don't know. We'll also combine one of these, I think. Yeah, we'll just combine it with a Z story for the time being. That'll turn it into another vital intelligence. We'll just hold on to that for now, too. Don't need any more cash at the moment. Where? Let's see. Is there a powers? LMNOP. Propagation, principles on... Yeah, there's no powers listed here. Maybe that has something to do with the gods of the Z. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually look like we have any of their attentions at the moment, which could be a good or bad thing. Really not sure. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the powers are here. We'll have to figure out what exactly that means. There are other officers we can actually talk to, and considering we actually have all the supply, we have never talked to the tireless mechanic. His only request is supplies, and I think we'll finally go and start his quest line here. Let's see what he wants. I assume, judging by the fact that he's a mechanic, he'd probably have something nice for us. Maybe a weapon like the Irrepressible Cannoneer. Maybe like an aft slot item, some engine or something, or maybe like a less magical, less terrifying engine, or an auxiliary slot, or maybe even a bridge slot. Just something in one of these areas. So we'll go and check in with him, feed him one of our many, many supplies. So let's invite him to dine with us. His tastes are Spartan. He eats little, drinks only water, barely sleeps at all. So you need only lay a simple table. An appeal. Thanks for the meal and the company. No wine. It makes me sleepy. Oh yes, I can sleep too easily. That's the problem. He hesitates. There's a draught I take nightly to substitute for sleep. It works well enough, and it keeps me sane and upright, but I wish I could enjoy just one night's sleep. You could help me. We need a clayman from Polythreme. We'll need a Mirrorcatch box, and we'll need to go to Hunter's Keep. I'll explain when we get there. No, I'm serious. I would owe you a great deal. Wow. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so Hunter's Keep. That is the location that burned down after... we did check at one point in our previous captain. The maid turned into a weird yellow-eyed creature, I think. And on this playthrough, we actually went up to the tower where Phoebe, I believe, had burned down the actual castle. We tried to rescue her. She was one of the three sisters. It was Phoebe, Lucy, and somebody else I can't recall. But she ended up burning down Hunter's Keep. We have not seen any tracks of her, so maybe he's related to them somehow. But we'll need to go get a Clayman and a Mirrorcatch box from Polythreme. Mirrorcatch box we can get from other locations, I believe. Both the cons locations, Heart and Shadow, and then the Chell in it. I want to say sell mirror catch boxes. And if we get really desperate, we can always go to Irem and trade a secret or two for a mirror catch box, I think, up there. But let's go right down this quest so we don't forget about them. Forget about him. Tireless mechanic wishes to sleep. And he wishes for a Playman. I wonder if we can just take one. And a mirror catch box. And I believe it's going to be empty, because he's not specifying anything in it. Take over to Hunter's Keep. Are rarely sold in London, could be found in the continent occasionally elsewhere. Rarely sold in London, really? You're kidding. I have not once seen them sold in London. I have no idea where they might be sold in London. Maybe Vales? There was a location we once saw in London, once heard about, which was tied to a Vales check to go deliver Sphinx Stone to. It was an alternative to the delivery to the Grand Geode, which we ended up taking just because we didn't have Vales high enough at the time, and I think we still don't, to go and bring it up there. It was a very short name, but I can't seem to recall it. But maybe that opens up a kind of an underground, because the person that was suggesting that option to us did seem very much on the sketchy side of things. They very much did not seem on the up and up. But we obviously don't have access to that because we didn't take that decision, if there is anything there to access in any way. For now, we'll just keep on trucking around. We did intend on getting a scion, and I did cave a little bit. I did look at how scions are actually accumulated. Apparently, you can't get them from the officers' romances. You do have to find somebody through the Rose Market. Sorry, not the Rose Market. Through Wolfstack Docks, through carousing here. So that should be alright to do. We should be good right now. We don't really need the terror reduction, but I would rather have a child. Having a scion would be just perfect for us, so we can, assuming this captain dies, especially since we start moving towards fighting proper monsters, it'll probably be better to have a scion in the event that this captain goes belly up. So let's go carouse a little bit. There's no danger here. Try to enjoy yourself, which will reduce our terror to nothing. Good night out, sea shanties, good companionship, and the warmth of a pub fire. You were fortunate. And we lost 30 echo. And found nothing. Okay, so you might run into trouble or romance. I guess we were not running into it this time. We'll keep going back, or whenever we return to Fallen London, we'll try to get a scion off. And hopefully... we have to get a child first, I believe, and then we can convert them into a scion if we give them enough stories of the sea. But those will be things for when we return. Now, we are going to pick up another recruit here. We do need to sail up to Venderbite, I believe. And I think that was because... Why did we have to return to Venderbite? I do recall very specifically having to go up there. Who's to say? Who's to say? Not quite sure. But let's go deliver our port reports here to get some free fuel. We are quite low at the moment. Mount Palmerston we'll keep because we are heading by or to Adams Way. We'll just turn to the Cumane Canal. And do we have a current request here? No, I think he's already given us a request to go to a location here. So we have to... Well, remember where that is. I don't think it matters too much. I assume that it's probably... Oh, you know what? It actually might be Venderbite. Where would that be under? The Admiralty? No A for Admiralty. Covering mysteries, perhaps. Ah, right. We also need to return to a Shaven. You know, let's bring up the map and look at that, just so I'm getting that correctly. Over in Godfall. Yeah, so it is Astable is the Sunlight Island. A Shaven is over in Godfall. Because we looked at the majority of that location, but we did not actually make it to the end. I think that we determined that the end is about 6 rooms in. So I think we're going to pick up a bunch of candles, bunch of... Where aren't they? I thought they were here somewhere. Maybe not. A bunch of foxfire candles. Ah, here they are. Not here, but over in the Connate, because they are very cheap. Well, they're cheaper in the Connate at about 30 echo. And so we'll pick up a bunch of those with our excesses of money and go and explore that out fully. Go and figure that out whenever we get over there. But I think that gives us our heading here. So we'll head over to Venderbite to do whatever it is we need to do at Venderbite. I distinctly remember wanting to go there. And then we'll start heading down to Adam's Way, I think. Maybe by way of Demew Island. Maybe by Guider's Morn. We'll head... Probably not by... Well, yeah, because we have to head out to around this area anyway just to get that Lorn Fluke core. Hopefully that fight won't be too bad. I'm really, really not good at combat in this game. It does not make a whole lot of sense to me. I have a real problem with that for the Z-Beasts, at the very least. But since we're off to do that, we will actually go repair our hull. It is a little bit expensive, but we've got the cash to spare. We also won't use our Admiralty's favor, just because that is a limited resource, and we are pretty much full up, I'm pretty sure. So we'll just pay the 100 echo to go repair that and call that good. We could go trade some Admiralty's favor for fuel, but I think we'll just buy it outright. Maybe we'll pass by Mount Palmerston to go do that. Oh, and you know, we need to stop off at Nook, too. So this is going to be a short U on the western and middle section of the map right here. We're going to pull up to Venderbite, over to Demew Island, up to Mount Palmerston, maybe for fuel. We might just buy it all here. Oh, you know what? We can actually go to Nook and buy fuel there. For, I want to say approximately the same price as we can actually get fuel here. Yes. No, let me check that undersea market we've got going. Nook, 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 where are you, buddy? Okay, a little bit more than here. 11 echo, but it's still much better than in a lot of places in the Untersee. But we'll go and do all of that. We'll head on down to, after that U, to eventually get around Fathom King's Hold, that sort of area, to try to find a Lorn Fluke, and then head down to Adam's Way, where we'll hopefully still have the terror. I'm going to say about 50 terror spare is what we'll want to have when we get to Adam's Way. Maybe we should go off the bat. Maybe we should reverse this direction here. No, we'll be okay. We'll be all right. Go to Adam's Way, sail off the southern edge of the map. I have no idea where I'll end up. Sailing off the northern edge put us over in Frostfound. But there's not really... There's Varkas, Port Carnelian, and Adam's Way. And maybe we kind of sail back up this river here next to Port Carnelian. Maybe that's where we end up once we sail off the southern edge. But hopefully our ship will keep us mostly safe down there. And that'll be that. So we'll go buy our fuel, and then we'll set off. I have been talking for quite a long time. I'm sure you guys want to see me get to Z. And I will have to remember here to bring 1 cask of mushroom wine. That way I can actually get into Nook. And since we are sailing this way, do we pass by the Edershroom? Not really. we will bring 1 firkin of prisoner's honey. Anyway. We do need more Blemigans to go continue dropping them off, because we do have another gift, I believe, awaiting us once we get back there, back up to 7 of the Blemigan propagation, I want to say, is the quality that you get from that. And with that, once we fill up on fuel, do we need to fill up more? Yes, we are not going to be passing any other locations that are cheaper than this. We will go and set out to sea. Right? Maybe sleep again? Actually, yes, I'm very concerned that we will succumb to nightmares. I'm actually very concerned that we're going to succumb to nightmares. I might even take 6 restful nights out to Z with me. I hope they stack. I hope they stack above 2. Ooh, where have they gone? Restful nights. There they are. No. Okay, those don't actually change at all. So we've just wasted 200 echo. But that'll be fine. We've got plenty to waste. And waste them we shall. We'll keep those restless nights on us, and we will run from the nightmare at every chance, just because we are getting so screwed by it, so royally screwed by all of that. But everything updated, crew size fixed, we're going to go set out. We'll keep our lights off here to save some fuel. So I think I may, not quite sure, but I may keep tabs on a lifebird. We intended possibly on fighting one at an earlier date. Since we are going out to fight Lornflukes, it would be a good idea to keep an idea of how well we can fare against Z-Beasts. And I suppose since we are going to be by Venderbite and all that, we will be close enough to Fallen London that if we get significant damage or significant crew loss, that we'll be able to heal our ship back. We'll be able to sail back and heal our ship up without much in the way of loss, just because we are so close. It'll be much cheaper and much less less opportunity wasting to go and do that here. That said, lifebergs are sort of not around here. They kind of trend towards Wither and Codex in those areas up there. If we see one heading to Demuth Island, I think we might take it on, but if we don't, that's okay too. We'll go and dock at Venderbite, though. Ah, right. That was what we had needed to go to Venderbite for. We needed to lure the captains to Rack, because Rack is just on the cusp of being fed. I think somebody said it was 17, and I think we are at 16 right now, for them to be adequately fed, apparently. At that point, they become a very nice location to visit. So let's go lure the ancient captains to Rack. Ancient captains stand idly in the dock. Though their bandages have yellowed, their uniforms are well washed. Spin them a story of a last hurrah. You approach 3 of the captains. They smell like moldering cakes. What sights they must have seen, you say in their years at the Z, on the Z. Bones pop and crack as they exchange glances. They glance with bones? Hold up. They croak a few words. On beasts they escaped, romances they had, ports where they made a difference. And what you ask of those beasts that escaped, those romances that they discarded, the ports where they did more harm than good. Of course, they reply, they'd set things right if they had a last adventure. As it happens, you have the charts to a place in need. So we've got more ships sent to Rack. And that'll be our bit there. We are also not taking more tourists. God, they are rough. They actually make a fair bit of cash if we end up sailing. Last time it was across the north end of the sea, I believe. It went from Guider's Morn to the Khanate, one of the Khanate locations, and then to the Chelenate. I think that's the route that we took last time. I'm not sure if that's identical for every tourist cruise. Every time we pick them up, I assume that's just random locations across the map. But they paid out a pretty hefty penny, even after we lost one of them. We arrived, unfortunately, with 11 out of the 12. We weren't able to find it. Weren't able to find a replacement. But they still made about 1,100 Echo for us. So if we just go straight sailing there, I think that's a decent cash run since we've lost our current one. It's not there are a few locations that could be picked. There are 3 or 4 stops, and each stop has 2 possibilities. Oh, interesting. Okay. So maybe we'll do that if we end up getting low on money at any point. At this point, I think we're probably good. We've got money to spare at this point. We can go stop in on the first curator, see if we've got anything he wants, and that doesn't look like that's the case. We still have Gant, which we do know where that is. Irigo, which we've never seen. Violent, which we have seen, but we can't seem to remember. And Virik, which I do not believe we have seen as well. So, still a few colors to be done. And I think the completion of his quest, the Eldest's End, is a request from the Fathom King to go help out find our father's bones, our other quest. But we'll go use our Something Awaits Us to explore Venderbite. We have stumbled upon monumental ruins again. And I think we'll go search warily again to find a cache of curiosities, which gave us a memory of distant shores. It's a page from a journal. On the day we saw the pillars of Irem, they are not what I expected. Irem is the place one does not expect. That is its nature. You've seen it in your dreams. Yes, you who found these pages long after my death. I knew when I wrote these words that you would read them one day. Irem taught me this, and now Irem's lesson is all that remains of me. Shallow sleep. Tireless mechanic. Oh, maybe, actually. Maybe he has something to do with Virik. That is totally possible. So let's try to see his quest off then to its conclusion. Right now, we just need the Clayman and the Mirror Catch box from him. For him, rather, and to deliver that to Hunter's Keep. So maybe we'll go further afield to the east than currently planned. But we at least got a memory of distant shores off of that. Don't think we have anything for this location. Nothing that I would really want to spend or sell anyway. We'll go and set off. Looking for icebergs and Z-bats and all that. Unfortunately, we are headed southwards to Demu Island. There is a bit of Z-battery. We'll go and take a detour to deal with them. They will give us some supply at the very least. And a little bit of terror, but we're so low on terror right now that it's not even a problem. We'll head down towards Demu Island, towards the Iron and Misery Co. funging station. Okay, our Something Awaits Us is back, which is perfect. We'll stop off at Demu Island. I think... Do we pick up crew, or do we pick up more supply? Those are the 2 major trades that we can get for our Something Awaits Us at the Iron and Misery co-funding station. The supplies are from the Factor, the tea with the Factor. That said, I think that also... I think he only gives us about 1, and 1 supply is not a whole lot for any reason. So we'll go and take the crewmate instead. That'll pay 1 Echo, and that'll give us 23 crew. Fuel and supplies are still doing fine. Go and set off to Nook next here. And you know, Nook is far enough over. I think we're probably safe to visit Khan's Heart and then Polythreme for the Mirror Box and the Clayman separately for our tireless mechanic here. So instead of heading straight down, we'll curve around this side. And I guess it's a good thing we brought that frickin' prisoner's honey for the Udder Shroom. Perfect. Now we could spend a bunch of time underwater. In fact, I may, just because Nook is underwater, our next location. We haven't spent too much time underwater, just passively. So let's go and do it. Now, I don't think we've actually been to the underwater locations that we are currently in. Not by Demu Island. I think everything has been mostly by other underwater locations. It is very dark, though. Nothing on sonar scans. I think it's sonar with a Z. Maybe sonar with an S, but this is not Nook yet. This is not anywhere near Nook. I think those are surface islands. Ooh. I think that should be another Khanate research vessel. We actually encountered one before, and we regrettably sunk it when it was completely... Ooh. Oh, okay, I see. I was just detecting that. We unfortunately sunk it when it was completely and totally non-aggressive. It saw us and everything. Even when we were firing upon it, it didn't fire at us. So we'll go and try to avoid it instead as best we can. I'm also noticing an oxygen bar that I have never really paid attention to before. We've never spent that long under the water for it to become a problem. I think we should reach Nook before that runs out. We can always quickly resurface if it does end up going lower. Oh, but this is... Yes, this is Nook we're coming up upon. So we finally made it here. Yeah, so the underwater isn't nearly as eventful or spooky as I thought it first was. Maybe I shouldn't have spent time down here. Maybe I should have been looking for Lorn flukes, but I don't think there are any between Demu Island and Nook. That seems like a pretty well-traveled location. We haven't ever seen any there. I don't know. Maybe I made a mistake, but... We'll probably surface once we get out of Nook here. Don't think we really need to buy anything. Fuel is still doing alright. It's not doing great, but it'll be enough to get us over to the Khanate. I think it'll be better to pick it up over at Nook, sorry, not Nook, at Dahoot, because Dahoot is the same price as Fallen London, I believe. They have fuel for 10 Echo, and supplies for 19 Echo, actually. So if we need to fuel up on supplies there, or fill up on supplies there, rather, then it would be better to do it over into Hoot rather than at Nook. But we are having to go into Nook. So let's go and use our cask of mushroom wine to rebreathe that water. Return to Nook. You have the measure of the place now, and you have learned that the liberal ingestion of wine before a visit increases your tolerance for Nook water, and so we shall. Undressing for adventure. Again, you remove your clothes and put them safely in the watertight diving suit compartment. As the water rushes in, you are ready, taking gulps to speed the transition. Feels less like drowning now, and more like baptism. You swim into Nook with skin and mind tingling, reborn in this airlock's cold steel. And our tolerance for Nook water is 9. I don't know how high that is. In terms of how bad it is, because I do know at a certain point it said that we were going to have issues, maybe having issues breathing air or something like that, but we'll go and help deliver this letter. Let's search for the recipient of the almost dead man's letter. Where will you find this etched tooth house? A man lost in freedom. A complex exchange of hand signals suggests you should swim up. The latitudinarian's home can be found in the Great Maw. Okay. and apparently we lost one. So maybe our tolerance is going up. Maybe that's a good thing. I think it actually might be. We'll go compile the port report too. Yeah, so it's slowly ticking down. We don't want it to be low. We do want it to be high. So we'll go and grab the port report since we've got so much. We can go head up to the maw, because that's where we need to go, and investigate the Etched Tooth House. A flinty latitudinarian keeps its upper cavities filled with compressed air, allowing a number of activities otherwise impossible in watery nook. The external surface of the tooth is covered with engravings, rows of battling soldiers, some with the heads of dogs, a mountain ablaze, ships riding on a river, and each ship has a human mouth. You swim inside and up to chambers of eggy air. That is spooky. That's just unsettling. But we've evidently met the flinty latitudinarian. In the cavities of his etched tooth home, trapped air pockets allow an activity largely forsaken in Nook, conversation. A handful of Nook folk gather there to reminisce. Brevity is admired, the air is precious and rapidly fouls. The latitudinarian watches and listens. He keeps a merciless peace within his house and cares not a damn for what happens outside it. So, we could trade our recent news for intriguing snippets. I think we'll probably sit on it, though. Let's go deliver our almost dead man's letter to him, though. The flinty latitudinarian takes it suspiciously. He reads slowly. Correspondence is unknown in Nook. When he finishes, he reads it again. Fool, he says. His voice is rough and fond. Tell Lorenzo that Rosina makes her own choices. And tell him the route was never his damn fault. I took the decision to charge the gate. I missed the hyena's approach. He blames himself too much, and I'll be damned if he's taken this one from me. It's my fault, and I mean to be buried with it. Tell him he can get his own failures, and tell him... No, never mind. Too late. Too bloody late. We've gained a secret, we've gained strategic information, and we've delivered the letter. So it seems like the nearly dead man was quite the adventurer. All of his comrades so far, we've only done 2 because the first one was so difficult to find over at Hideaway. We had a hell of a time finding it. Both of them seem to be in pseudo positions of power. He seemed to be kind of adventurer of some type, where the first fellow was a lover, but he is the one running Hideaway, or so it would seem. Seems very high up the social chain there. This guy seems to have a house that he monitors very, very much with an iron grip. It is described as not giving a damn about what happens inside the outside the house rather, but inside he's got very, very keen rules. So he seems to be friends with fine folk, with folk of great distinction. So I wonder who he is. I wonder if we'll ever find out. I kind of doubt we are. I kind of doubt we will find out about his adventures. But we've at least delivered his letter here. So let's, will we head back to him? Probably not. We'll head back out to the maw at the very least. And maybe go mining? The other thing we traditionally do at Nook is go down into the throat. We've been heading down further and further. Unfortunately, we've never gotten very far down. And unfortunately, twice over, we have used some of our tolerance for Nook water, which we do keep at about the level where we head back. We keep that as our timer here. We have used a lot of that. I think 3 of the 9 we started out with. A lot of that just getting to this guy. So I think we'll go and do activities not related to swimming down the beast's throat. I think we'll just take a few things elsewhere. Let's join some tooth miners here. Sometimes treasures can be found caught in the teeth. Ooh, and then this increases as you do more Nook. The more you do in Nook, the more Nook will change you. Okay, so this is what we do or don't want to have. I don't even know. We'll go tooth mining, though. In the darkness, your pick hook finds a wide cavity. Lights shine forth. It is stuffed with a cluster of the phosphorescent nodules that the deeper Nook folk treasure. You scoop out an armful before the rest of the miners swarm in. So we've gained more phosphorescent nodules. That's what we've been using to adventure around that cave. We've also gained a bit of fuel, which is nice, and a memory of Nook, which we're not sure about. Triumph or regret, either way, it lingers in your mind. Maybe this is what's bad. And then we'll swim on down, I think, to the throat. We can swim once downwards to the serrated abyss. We could get solace fruit, or accept a scandalous invitation. You know what? We're starting to be quite the romanceable fellow. We had a liaison with the pirate poet and also with the clattery air at this point. Let's go to Nook folk. Let's go have some with some Nook folk. Let's accept the scandalous invitation. Two Nook folk, languorously entangled, swim past. Their fingers twine in the water. Their arms stray over bearskin. One smiles at you, beckons. What happens in Nook? The two lovers lead you to a tooth the size of a London manor. It is riddled with caverns, gently lit by lambent nodules. In each cavern, lovers seethe. You find a chamber of your own, hands explore, lips touch, acquaintances deepen. Oh, we're starting to gain this. We did lose terror. But we've got a taste of freedom going way up there. So this may be bad. We can get rid of these. I do know that there is a location elsewhere that mentions that any things we have happen at Nook, I probably assume it's the tastes of freedom that happen in Nook we can remove somewhere, but I can't quite remember where that was. Maybe that was Polythreme. I think it actually might have been Antha. I think it had something to do with the needles there. The needles of Fortis. But, oh, I guess that ends that, too. Okay. Well, we've just been kicked out of Nook. We had a liaison with some of the Nook folk, and they were just like, get out of here, we're done with you. But we've at least crossed out the Nearly Dead man's second request. I assume he will probably have more, because most of the folks here generally have multiple requests. So we'll see whenever we return to him. Probably not now, considering we are decently far from the Undercrow at this point. But we'll determine when we return to him where he wants us to go next. For now, we'll keep on heading over east to Khan's Heart to pick up a mirror catch box, and then Polythreme to pick up the Clay Man. I hope we can get just one. If we need to throw a couple over, well, that'll be what we do. We'll go head out of here. Probably surface. This did not speed up our track as well as I thought it would. Yeah, I really thought that would boost our speed a little more, because it does look like a current that is pushing in the direction of our travel, but it did seem to just slow us down. But we'll travel on the surface, see if we can find any more of those Lorn flukes. And see if we can take them down. Oops, not what I had meant to do. We could go stop at Nuncio, just for the port report. In fact, I think we will. There will probably be a Radis Faber ship over in the Finknottle Vortex. Ah, no, there he is. He's just north, though. Usually we find him over there, having gotten trapped in it. But it looks like he's actually stayed out of it for once. Nope. Is he turning towards it? I think he is. Well, we've lost him to the abyss, to the vortex there. We'll go to Nuncio. We will assemble the port report here. And might as well stroll along the beach to use up our something awaits us. We could rescue a dripping parcel. Grab some materials for the dead letter office. We'll grab this at the least. Drowning pearls. Dozens of them, and an explanation of how they were harvested that turns the hair. The divers lost among the deep coral, the beasts that had to be fought off during the harvesting, the growing terror aboard the ship. All that has been done was done according to your lordship's will, concludes the letter writer. In anger and pride and unquestioning submission. Impossible to say. So we gained, wow, 20 drowning pearls, 5 terror, and 10 fragments. Terror's still doing very, very well. But we'll probably go grab some dead post here for the dead letter office. We'll work a shift, maybe. Will of its own. You make your way along the shore with a big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read. Their addresses permanently lost, but a surprising number are still legible. There are also parcels. Here and there is a crate, a message in a wine bottle, a sealed cask that is bobbed up out of the shipwreck. Your sack ought to get heavy with all these contents, but it pulls upward and away, straining inland towards the dead letter office like an unmanageable dog. And so we'll head back and do some more shift work. Now, let's go feed our letters in. 52 categories. After prolonged whirring, the machine begins to distribute. 7 invitations edged in gilt, 2 into the correspondence of the aristocracy slot, 2 oversized parcels probably containing books into the books tray, 1 stamped bronze tablet that drops with a clang into a bin marked First City. Postal Rat watches this all with an air of satisfaction. We did, the last time we were working here, kind of piss him off because we ended up feeding live letters into his machine, and it messed the machine up, and he was very, very unhappy about that. He was unhappy with that. We actually lost some friendship with him, which we have not yet managed to get back. We need to stop using up our something awaits us down at the shore and remember to use it over on him. As for the Postman's Tavern, I don't think anything worthwhile is here. So I think that'll be our quick jaunt over to Nuncio done with. Now to just head straight east, just about, to Khan's Heart. And we can ignore the Radis Faber ship that's here. Oh, yep, he's stuck in the vortex. So he's doing his best to sail out of it. I think we'll actually head to the north edge of this, kind of through the middle of it. We will head north to that edge, because there are no entrances really on the side except for this. It's kind of a cross pattern that you can actually enter the city with, I think, with a little inlets on the northeast side and southeast side. But we have made it into Khan's Heart. We'll go enter in the Nefrit Quarter. Maybe we'll check on our spy network. I can't quite recall what they wanted for services rendered, or to increase their services here. A Bales challenge. We've got decent Bales. It's a 1 in 3 chance. Sure, let's give it a try. Your cunning is required. This will need your personal attention. Not quite exceptional. An easy mistake, anyone could have made it. You can't be expected to keep track of everything, but now someone's keeping track of you. Oh, our Carganian suspicion hit 10, which means we can't access the Nefrit market anymore, the Nefrit Quarter, to access the market. At the very least, we can go gather our port report. Lovely. Which will increase our suspicion, but that doesn't really matter, because we're going to have to go reduce it anyway, which we'll go do right now, because we just picked up a whole bunch of drowning pearls in the first place. Will we pay a storyteller for a story, too? Maybe we shall. If we're getting Carganian suspicion, we might as well go all the way for it. Let's pay a storyteller. The storytellers in the Square of Cedars wear brightly colored caftan-like clothing with silk sashes in contrast to the more sober and subterranean dress of the citizenry. For coin, even foreign coin, they'll sing epics of their nation's history. The Temptations of Parabola. Where London now stands, the capital of the Khanate once stood, after its own disappearance from the surface. After the clean sky and wide earth, they went half mad in the close night under the earth. They found serpent things in mirrors that promised them diversion, escape, new horizons. In time, the mirror serpents became masters, not servants, and the last true Khan led the last of his people to the salt steppes, to a black rock where he founded this city. How he built it is a tale for another day. You feel eyes on you. A woman in white and gold uniform, in a white and gold uniform, watches you closely. Closely. The loyalty service is suspicious of foreigners who want to learn Kaganian history. That's actually very interesting history. So those are probably the mirror snakes. There is an item called a box of angry mirror snakes that I think we can actually sell in Khan's Heart or Khan's Shadow. Apparently, they very much exist. There is also a snake who appears to us in the Dream and Irem. He is the one that actually offers the solution for Aestival that we have elected not to undertake. That's probably the difficult one. That's the one with all of our stats being over 100. So that's very interesting. Unfortunately, our menaces went up by 3. I didn't expect that. I kind of just expected 1. We also got a Memory of Distant Shores for it. But we'll go and set sail for north side, trade a bunch of Drowning Pearls, and then reduce our suspicion there. Good thing you got those Drowning Pearls. I do have quite a bunch on me already. I think I've sat on just about 30 from Dahoot, of all places, I think. Just in case anything like the situation came up anyway. But we'll go quickly pawn those off and reduce our suspicion with the white and golds. Okay. Khan's glory. Here are the palaces of the Khan and his court, each a fortress unto itself. Sleek lords and ladies in belted robes, breakfast on balconies, an unlikely antelope peeks at you from a park. Guns rotate easily on motorized gimbals. Nothing like knowing you're being watched by automatic weaponry to keep you all in line. But let's offer a gift to the Tiaman with the Drowning Pearls. This clan is named for a sizable and ferocious fish of the surface. They have a fondness for Drowning Pearls for some secret clan ritual. And an offering has been accepted. The yellow chamber by the palace entrance. A masked functionary scrutinizes the pearls. Yes, she says, even through this mask, she does not meet your eyes. She rises, turns, and leaves. Now we've got 5 fewer Drowning Pearls and 1 Tiaman's Mercy. So we'll just do that a couple times, and then we will trade, I believe it's 3 Tiaman's Mercy here. Yes, 3 Tiaman's Mercy for reduced suspicion. Let's plead our case with the Tiaman. The Tiaman clan has long controlled the White and Golds, the loyalty service who watch Kaganians and foreigners alike. If they're convinced your intentions are good, they may be lenient. And boy, do I hope they're convinced. Still at 10, though. Dang. The steel chamber, 2 masked functionaries hear your request. They confer briefly. One of them marks the paper in front of him. They wait for you to leave. So we'll need to offer more Drowning Pearls. That's okay. We've got plenty. Okay, and we are now at 5, so we're doing all right. And we'll stop antagonizing them. We'll get into the Nefrit quarter, pick up our mirror catch box, and probably be out of here. Our terror is still sitting lovely and low. Doing very well on that end. Though we haven't really traveled through any situations. Traveled through open sea, or traveled... activated? Not quite the right word. Encountered any situations that would have raised it significantly. I think we encountered maybe 1, but nothing too bad. We'll go open up the shops. Ooh, we should buy some Foxfire candles. And a mirror catch box. We'll get the mirror catch box first. We'll get excess Firefox candles, I think. If it is 12 rooms, I would like... Oh, we're not exactly sure if it is, but assuming that it's 12 rooms, I'd like to have some spare in case we encounter something unfortunate. So I think picking up to 15? 15, I think, should give us a decent fare if we encounter something. We won't buy fuel, I don't think. We can get that at Dahoot for cheaper. And I don't think we'll buy anything else either. I think we're all good here. Don't need romantic literature for anything explicit. So we'll go and set on out to Godfall now. Maybe stop off at Khan's Shadow. It's kind of out of the way. We'll just head straight on south. So, we'll head to Ashaven here. We will go all the way in. Maybe our Nacreous Outcast here will suit us. Because he had something to say about, I believe, one of the altars there. Something about how the folks in the abandoned spire, or whatever the ruins we were exploring were called, tried to emulate the Rubbery Men, the squid folk that he is a part of, and failed. At least that was his description of it. So I think he's very much got something to do with that. We'll also grab the port report, might as well while we're here. And let's go explore the Shattered Citadel. Before the stalactite was a monastery, before it ever even fell from the roof, it was a citadel. The fall shattered it and killed all its occupants who were trying to turn themselves into Rubbery Men. Probably. Why don't you take a look? We shall. Through the cellars, the monks have blocked the tunnels into the citadel. The starved men lived there, says one vaguely. They're all dead, of course, but you wouldn't want to meet them. Still, there's a gap in the cellar wall that they keep meaning to fix. So we'll move in here and head deeper and deeper and deeper. All beneath is dark. The citadel is dark as only a once bright place can be. It hung up there among the false stars, drowned in azure light for how long? Now it's here, so are you. Let's go deeper. The citadel lies on its side. All its halls and tunnels tilt crazily. Edge your way through like an ant through a broken puzzle box. We're in the second tangle. A labyrinth of dwelling galleries. You hear the Z. The passage branches and opens into a tangle of galleries on the skin of the surface. There are doorways to dwelling places, all empty now, all leading one another into one another like cells of a honeycomb. Perhaps you can find your way through. Painstaking progress. You make your way through an asymmetrical foam of beehive dwellings, past faded frescoes of the sea, seen from above beneath swags of cobweb, or single sorrow spider's scuttle, past a long mummied human corpse. Its limbs are curled and knotted like vines. What happened here? Well, they were trying to be Rubbery Men for some reason. That's why the limbs are actually curled. They're bent in some way. But we knew that from before. We've gone through most of this. We'll keep going deeper. And let's go fight off the winged things. It says, if the walls shed its skin. Suddenly they're on you everywhere. The air roars, they fill your mouth, eyes, and nose. That is horrific. I don't think we encountered this last time we were here. Luckily, we have enough iron to fight them off outright. Let's press on through. Forge on. Your bosun grasps your shoulder. Each zailor grasps the next. Bow your heads and push forward. We've made it to, I believe this is the third room. So we'll head on deeper. We've still got 13 Foxfire candles, so we should be totally fine here. Yes, this is the midpoint. The Church of Starved Men. The chambers, the pew skeletons, the glassless windows, the altar robbed of its treasures. Out on into the dark, or back into the dark. No new words from our Rubbery Man on crew. Let's keep going. The Glittering Crisis. You stumble into the heart of a geode. Quartz crystals twist in the light and spangle it into your eyes. It's like trying to outstare molten silver. Go carefully. And this is actually where we're starting to not have pure challenges here that we can beat. 62%. I wonder what will happen if we fail. Well, I guess we won't find out. Safe enough. You graze the back of your hand against a sharp crystal. Blood blooms briefly. Say that 5 times fast. But we did succeed there, so we moved forward. And we will continue to move forward. Fight off a frenzied assault. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. A rabble of leathery mummy things, mouths agape, come boiling from crevices. Crooked limbs reach for you. Let's go fight them off. Push through. They're tenacious, these leather remnants, but not strong. Some force has distorted remnants of women and men into ragged, furious mannequins. They still breathe, they still ate. Bat-like blood runs from the mouth of this one before you take off its head with a swing of your cutlass. Then they're behind you, the roars of the incredulous rage fading. And I think this should be the last room, right? Stone drops. Lost in amber. A spherical room. The ceiling drips honey. The walls and floor are glazed with warm orange yellow. It's give. I assume that's supposed to be it gives. It gives under your touch. Slowly, but when you try to pull your hand free, it takes all your strength. Tables and chairs project through the yard-thick amber on the floor. Enough to cross, perhaps. And a 66% for a Veil's chance. We might lose here, though. We didn't, though. Amazing. We've passed everything so far, which is amazing. That's fantastic. You each step cautiously from chair to table to bench. Thankfully, the amber's grasp keeps the furniture from swaying too much. As you reach the far side, a careless crewman stumbles and the chair swings sideways with a clotted splorch sound. So you've made it across. Knock on wood? Yeah. We'll see if we have any more. We'll keep going on. And we've reached the Citadel's root. Finally. Okay. The Gate of Forms. Here in the floor, because of the stalactite's fall, is a gate of glittering chalcedony, half lost beneath rubble, but thick enough to resist the most determined assault. Its surface is a relief of twisted limbs, distorted faces, screaming in glee. Carved, molded, impossibly natural. A pit at its center might be a key socket or only a mouth. Oh, and we have an ambiguous Eolith, so we're just carrying one around passively. So we've actually got the ability to go through this. Let's go through the Gate of Forms. Making an entrance. Perhaps once, the gate was finely counterbalanced. Perhaps once, hidden machineries would have roared at the touch of the Eolith, and the gate would have swung open like oiled glass. Now the Eolith swing only triggers the unlocking mechanism. It takes 3 sailors with crowbars to move the rubble and force the doors open. Down open, so that when you bring it free, it collapses inwards with a echoing crash. An echoing crash. Climb through the gap into a space that roars with wind. The Root Gallery. You've traversed half the length of the stalactite called Godfall from the monastery to here. The starved men cut a tremendous gallery around the whole root of the stalactite, leaving a vast central pillar to support its weight. In its day, the view must have been unrivaled. Remnants of salvaged glass and wooden eating houses, not wood eating houses. Viewing booths, sight temples still cling to the edges, but the root has been shattered, and the stalactite fell. Go a little closer. Clamber carefully across the tilted surface of the gallery floors towards the shattered stump of the root. A dozen corpses, decades dry, lie at the stalagmite's root. You think there was a barricade here, but the fall has smashed it and the remnants have fallen into the sea. Were they defending the root? Gunner Atkins squints at the scorched and shattered rock and nods wisely. Gunpowder, he opines. Blew it up themselves. Killed the whole city. Starved men, eh? Alice heard they fight... Alice? Not sure. Alice heard they fight each other. Mad as toads. In the immemorial tradition of subterranean adventurers, you search the corpses. Well, it's not like they've been buried. Their bones of their limbs and their faces are blurred and twisted like melted wax. You find trinkets, disgusting remnant chunks. And oh, good God, yes, that's worth quite a bit. Worth a lot. Best not to let your men see it. Nothing else remains here. Signal your ship with flares and she'll approach. You scramble down and drop into the sea to be retrieved. Much safer than the tunnels of Godfall. Okay, so we don't actually have to go back through. That's nice. We found a captivating treasure. Gained 2 secrets. Gained 7 lamentable relics, my goodness. And have an eyeless skull. Ooh, look at that. Irigo light. I think that's one of the colors we still need. Maybe that's one of the ones we already have. But, yeah, we have an eyeless skull now. Neat. So we've made it all the way through Godfall, and we ended up not using about half of our Foxfire candles. Still better to have, though. Definitely rather have them than not need them than need them when we don't have them. Much like the ambiguous eolith we were carrying around. Very nice to have that come in handy. But that's all of our exploration at Godfall. I think that's pretty much that done. We'll call it good there. We'll go and head out. To Hoot, maybe, to fill up on fuel. Then to Polythreme. And I actually do want to check something. Do I still have Irigo? I do. There we go. So we've actually got that that skull, which is lovely. If I can find where it's at. Maybe I just have it somewhere passively. We have that skull that I believe fulfills Irigo's color requirements. So I think it mentioned Irigo. So we'll have something for Thunderbite for the first curator when we get back over there. That's very, very nice, though. Oh, but we'll go submerge early on here. Because we can just travel to Hoot underwater, as it is an underwater location. And it should be right here. Yeah, I do recall it being right next to the edge of Godfall. Of course, with all the screaming faces and stuff. This... I feel like that was just a face before, wasn't it? I really do not know. But it is a creepy, creepy place down here by Hoot. And I'm not exactly sure why. We've never gone into Hoot, mostly because we've been told that it is a good way to gain terror. And that's something that we definitely don't want to do. We'll go grab the basic port report and start looking at the shops here. Now we'll go pick up to 30 fuel. That should give us the ability to move around pretty well. I think our supplies are still doing well. Really don't think we need to pick up supplies at the moment. We're doing pretty fine on them. We do have more crew than usual, but 18 should be well more than enough to get us to the south. And in the south, we can also buy more supply for a slightly lesser price than this. I believe the price there is 18 in the south. So we'll go on and get out of here to do that. So there is... Where's that sonar ping? Oh, this is the sonar ping. Okay. So I can sail over this? Yeah. Wow, interesting. Whale bones. The Z has not been kind. The colossal skull is intact, but the body has been reduced to a gnawed frame of bones. Carvings have been scored into the bones. So, shall I get Stygian ivory? Probably not. I don't need that. We don't have to sell it anywhere. I'd rather check some of the other options here. So we've either got unknown toxins or engravings, both of which are 75 or up % chances of having that happen. I feel like engravings will probably give us maybe a secret, probably just fragments. I think I might collect the toxins. It also has a slightly better chance as compared to the engravings. Let's collect unknown toxins here. The marrow of these beasts bear poison. Harvest them. You and your crew don diving suits and swim out, armed with flasks and bone saws. It takes 3 of you to hold a rib in place, another 2 to wield the saw. Your doctor insists on collecting the marrow personally. It is back-breaking labor. Snap of bones, the dribble of pallid marrow. Eventually, every bone is snapped and hollow. You've taken enough. We got supplies from that? You're kidding. It's poison. Huh? Okay, we're gonna eat the poison, apparently. But, yeah, I didn't realize that stuff like that could be, the underwater discoverables could be stuff as big as that. I recognize it because there's a face right here that it's sitting on. You can see it moving in the background, so I knew it was on top of something. We'll go and head to Polythreme. And hopefully be able to pick up a single clay man. Otherwise, we might be a little heartless, because there is a delivery option for, I want to say 6 claymen. suppose we do have the space for them. But it doesn't pay very much. Might cast them overboard if they become a nuisance, which is very, very much heartless. We'll go over and dock in Polythreme, see if we can pick up a single clayman. I really hope we can. Maybe it'll be an interaction now that we have that quest from the Tireless Mechanic. So it's sharpness we can cure here. Sharpness that we get from Antha. And we get a clayman individually? Seems not. Dang. Yeah, maybe we will take this and hope that none of them are unfinished men. The unfinished man costs us, I think it's a skill check to persuade them, or we have to fight them. Which is also obviously a skill check, but kind of surprised we can't just buy a single one here. Now, we will not warn off the merchants here about Rack. We are trying to help them out after all. They are pirates, but they are fair pirates trying to handle themselves for their own good. They are really just trying to stay alive. Their king, I don't know if he's actually officially a king, or just a pseudo-king. He is very fair on everybody. He's making sure everybody works. He's making sure nobody's gluttonous, and it's not an unfair, unbalanced assortment of resources, allotment of resources. So I really like it. It's a kind of a communist idyllic location, which really doesn't work in real life. Individuals suck, so communism is really not going to work in real life. But hey, that guy's got an iron fist on everything, so... the only way to get them is to get the 6 for London. Okay, so we'll go and do that. That's not too bad. 6 cargo spaces is something we can afford to spare at this point, and if we need to, we can always dump our excess foxfire candles out. So we'll go and carry these claymen to London. Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers imaginable, just unless, one turns out to be an unfinished man. They troop aboard. Each one lies down in its appointed position next to the other, nested smugly head by foot. We are here for London, one explains to you. So we'll go have those. And I assume, yeah, we've got to get to... Hold on. Yeah, we've got to get to Hunter's Keep first. Or apparently if we had a serpent trap, we would be able to do that. But we'll set out from here to the Uttershroom, I believe. So we'll kind of come at this in a reverse. We'll also hang on the right side. I don't think we'll stop off at the Empire of Hands. Don't really want to deal with them at the moment. Same with Aestival, especially because that's north of us. The Uttershroom is also in the opposite direction. Yeah, so maybe we'll not hang by the eastern edge. We'll just sail on down to the Uttershroom and do that all very directly. That'll be wide open sea that we're just about in line with. There are the outer vestiges of the Uttershroom, and there it is itself. There is the colony. Pick up, unfortunately, only one Blemigan. We didn't quite have the foresight to get multiple firkins of prisoner's honey, but we also weren't quite sure that we were going to visit this location anyway, so... Let's go gather some intelligence in the port report there. We will trade one of our strange caches. We can trade one of our strange caches for a live specimen. We don't actually have a live specimen, so that is a good trade. There we go. And let's go get a Blemigan. Gained a docile Blemigan and some supply. That's nice. Ah, you return again. You want more Blemigan? We have more Blemigan. Many, many Blemigan. Always more Blemigan. That's such a fun word to say multiple times like that. Always more Blemigan. Here are the piled slabs of mauve fungus flesh. Atop them, like an attentive dog on a plinth, a watchful Blemigan. They want new places, the Shroomer explains. Too many Blemigan here. Plant them in 6 more new places. Mother will be pleased. It's nice that they actually give us some supplies for that. I really didn't expect that. And our Blemigan Gallivanter still does not like the location. He has been unhappy about the location the whole time. But I think from here... Oh, you know, we can actually go sail to Savior's Rocks. Yeah, we can go sail to Savior's Rocks. We have the Foxfire candles, which we can actually use there. As for what, I'm not quite sure. We also technically need to pick up 21 spider silk for the Merchant Venturer, either that or Zoop from Mount Palmerston that we've kind of been ignoring since we don't really need the pay. And both of them are a little bit out of the way for the most part. So I don't think we'll do that, but we'll at least go there and spend our Foxfire candles. You know, I don't think you'd have any regrets if you just didn't explore Savior's Rocks at all. I want to explore it. It's a location, you know. It's a place. We've explored all the places. Even if this one happens to be covered in creepy crawly spiders and have that, like, what was it? The Tree of Ages, I think it was. That horrific looking sea beast that was there. But spiders? Yeah, I know, but spiders. But we should brave up. We are a hefty captain. We are a hefty captain. And we ought to do this. Just physically shivered thinking about the animation? Yeah. Yeah, me too. Just wait, we get to look at it now. This may be a grave mistake, but I gotta offload these Foxfire candles, and we can do that over at Savior's Rocks and explore a location beyond it. I hope the spiders don't eat my ship. My ship is alive. It leaves blood trails. I think you should wait until you don't have any regrets about dying. I mean, I'm always going to have regrets about dying, no matter what. No matter how far I get in the game, because there are ways to successfully end the game, and if I don't get any of them, then that'll always be unfortunate. Cleared that section. There's the wreck of the Nocturne, but the last time we went in there, one of our sailors was shot by the other guys for I think he pillaged something. Oh, there's the animation. Oh god. You know, it's not just the fact that there are spiders scuttling around all over there, though that is part of it for sure. It's the fact that they pop in and out, which is and they pop in and out of holes too. Time to make this stream into a podcast. Yeah, no kidding. They pop in and out of like holes in the rocks, which is like tryptophobia matched up with arachnophobia just 100% of the way. And of course there is an elder angler crab who we will not take on. Oh, please go away. Go away, elder angler crab. I don't want to deal with you. I'm already spooked out as it is. Okay. Ooh. All clear. Light back on. Whee! We're back in Savior's Rocks with a bunch of spiders. They're still preparing for the Festival of Silk. Sure, we can drop off a Blemigan here. I'll do it now, so we never have to come here again, hopefully-ish. Let's put a Blemigan ashore. Dark and dank, just how they like it. An unseemly brawl. A Blemigan whirls across the quay and under a silk merchant's stall, occasioning some alarm. Gone from your life, your duty is done. Not quite. With a furious insectile screech, sorrow spiders converge on the stall. the Blumigan is driven into the open. It smashes one spider carapace with its beak, vaults another spider in a flash of fungal dexterity, fences tendril to chelicere. I assume that's the proper name for a spider's fang things, with a third, and they both dash up a wall. Then it's gone into the webs, its hyphal slimes protecting him from their sticky adhesions. Spiders pour after it. Who will know its end? Not you. You had nothing to do with this. If anyone asks, you were probably never even here. Yeah, no kidding. Poor Blumigan. No, this Blumigan is awesome. This Blumigan is an action hero. He killed 2 spiders, fought off a third, and he is in their webs, in their nests. He is doing his own thing. He is one heck of a guy. One heck of a Blumigan here. That is the Errol Flynn of Blemigans. You sent that before I actually put it ashore. Yeah, just in preparation. Well, I was considering assisting with festival preparations, and then I looked at this, and it says, Savior's Rocks caught in the webs of Savior's Rocks. So, no. No. Instead, we're going to go into the other places with spooky areas. Maybe we won't, because it is a high-risk challenge. Wow. So that is only a 26% chance. And we have 66 veils. So for 100%, or for a high chance here, not even 100, that's probably over 100 just to get like a 50% chance for veils. That's ridiculous. But I guess we won't be using our Foxfire candles here. We will be ignoring that entirely. Shall I assist with festival preparations? I could risk it. I've got the crew. They probably won't eat me. I think it'll be fine. Won't turn out terribly. No, not worth it. I'm gonna do it. I got the people for it. Plus, who doesn't want to take part in a festival? Festivals are always great, right? Like there was the festival in Adam's Way where they ate a person. And there was that festival in Hideaway where we ate rotten food covered in ink. That was for exploring with the low veils check. Yeah, no, not going to risk that part. That is definitely not a positive chance. But we'll assist here. We'll assist with the festival preparations. The assistance of an experienced captain and crew will hardly be turned down. Quiet murmurs of appreciation. The traders of the Nativity have little practice showing appreciation, but at least put in an effort. In particular, they not entirely accidentally let slip that the secret of the accord of grace, a hospitality granted to visitors by the generous neighbors of whom they will speak no ill. Okay. They do, however, hint that this only applies to travelers arriving through the port. Those unlucky enough to run aground on the rocks can consider themselves... But no, a sorrow spider might hear something they would, of course, never say. Okay, so if we run aground somehow on the rocks, then we will be, in colloquial terms, screwed. Spiders will try to eat our ship and ourselves. And, apparently the next time we're here, we can meet with an emissary of spiders. Interesting. Terrifying, judging by that description, but interesting. Apparently you need 262 veils for a 100% chance to succeed exploring the spider caves with candles. My goodness. Absolutely nuts. And we will not deliver trinkets because I believe that the almost entirely legitimate silk trader actually gave us a barrel of spiders the last time because it was moving and shaking. But we will head on south to stop by King Eater's Castle. If we were feeling particularly insane, we could fight the Tree of Ages, which is that spider-esque monster that was somewhere to our east, I believe. We last saw him in that fog. But no, we shall not do that. And of course there's a dust storm. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Can we avoid it? No, because that's King Idris Castle. Oh, there's a shining dreadnought there, though. Let's head around the east side of King Idris Castle to avoid that shining dreadnought. Can we? Can we? Can we? We may accidentally go off the eastern edge of the area here. Let's try to skirt it as narrowly as possible. Oh no, we're good. We're good. We got enough room. So I looked up what happens if you explore the spider caves, and apparently it's only trading foxfire candles and terror for bolts of spider silk. Oh yeah, that's not very good at all. Explored here. Patacheks. I think it's probably Tucheks, like P and T sound together. It's not a common, what are they called? Phoneme? You could probably pronounce it though. Tucheks. Fury is the location there. There's lots of these guys though. Glorious dreadnoughts. Hopefully they'll stay oblivious to us though. Maybe we've increased their numbers because we actually helped out the Grand Geode and stuff with the becoming, you know, rulers of the seas and all that. The Carnelian Exile just grabs the wheel and turns you east. That could have happened. That's a little more meta than I think it intends, but we're over at King Idris Castle. We will compile a port report. Will we offer all of our Z stories? No, we have 18. That is a ton. Also, this will send us elsewhere. So, heck no, will we not do that. And I think that's all we actually can do in King Idris Castle. Because there's nothing really else here for us. We can ask about the bones, but we don't know about that. We've still got the bit from the Fathom King to go do that with. Well, oops. Get me out. Okay, we'll just get the port report from here. We'll sail out, probably with lights off, to Varkas, and then to Adam's Way, where we might sail up the river there. Or is it a river? Is it a lake? The river, I would, what I'd consider a river would probably be more what is around Adam's Way. Or, sorry, Port Carnelian, not Adam's Way. Where it's just a little strip of water. Okay, there's that dreadnought there. It's kind of figure S-ing around. Oh, we discovered Vino's Rift. Ah, I see that underwater section. I think we should be far enough out here that dreadnought is not going to detect us. So we can turn on our lights again and just hug the coast as we proceed over to Varkas. What? You're kidding? He saw me? He's not turning the right way, though. He's now, but I think he's too slow to catch us. So we'll just sound the all clear. Okay, but we have made it back to Varkas for the first time after we shuttered their gates, after we helped out the priesthood. So let's see what's going on. The walled city of Varkas is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers, slow blooming around moldering stone. A quincunx of carved stepped towers rise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A rough, shadowed path leads from the docks to the mirrored gates of Varkas, but there is no fire burning in the towering stone lamps beside the gates, and no blue-cloaked guard. Varkas is barred to visitors. We'll grab the port report. Let's go check out the new settlement. There's a collection of tents and huts clustered in the thin ring of light around the city's walls. Perhaps you could speak to them. The jewel-turbaned youth greets you with his hands pressed together, only he is not jewel-turbaned anymore, nor does he look particularly youthful. You can see other ill-fated neathers through open tent flaps. They sit on moldering cushions and sip mushroom tea. I'm so sorry. This is the guy we turned in. We didn't, I feel really bad, because he was ultimately a passionate revolutionary. But I just thought his decision there, his quest to do all of the revolutionizing, came at the cost of normal people there, even if it was the truth. I might have made the wrong decision. I fully admit that here. I probably should have sided with him, with the truth of, Ares outside of the light aren't bad, but at the time it seemed to make sense to me. I was debating on that very hard at the time too. So, but let's see what else they have to say. We decided to leave Varkas now that we are no longer Varkazi, he explains. Though they haven't gone particularly far, he gives you an ironic look. We've not given up our cause, but we are not quite ready for the wide open sea yet. He looks out over the glistening black expanse of the Untersee, and a smile spreads slowly over his wan features. Soon, he whispers, soon. There's little more you have to say to each other. He watches you closely, almost yearningly, as you walk back to your ship. We get into Tale of Terror. So that's all he wanted to say to us, I guess. Just warning you regarding sailing south. Even with Clattery Heart, it reduces your crew count to 1, but gives you a Judgment's Egg and an outlandish artifact. And it's much worse without the Clattery Heart. And you lose 10 supplies. Okay, supplies we can at least get. A Judgment's Egg is pretty good, though. We've barely ever found them. I think we found one, which we had to use for, I think it was the Brisk Campaigner at the time. And we have not found a single other one. So I think it still might be worth it. Plus, it's another edge of the map. Just warning because it's different from going off the other edges. Ah, I see. We'll keep that in mind. We'll probably fill up on food then at Adam's Way. The one crew is dangerous. You'd be inching back. Yes. You are right. I think it's close-ish enough that I can make it, maybe? I want to see what's on that southern edge. We spent all this time getting the Clattery Heart. Not specifically for this, but it is a major benefit of it, according to that, so... Oh, look, a behemoth stash! Oh my god, it's been so long since we've seen one of these guys. Well, let's go fire on it to help out the fading Haruspecs. Ooh, does he see us? Oh yeah, he sees us. He super sees us. Oh my goodness. He has got range, and he's got a fair bit of damage. We could definitely take him, though. Maybe we can take him. Oh, wait, yeah, we've got almost 500 health. We are totally gone taking this guy. He's got less health than we do. We only suffered 2 hits for it. But we finally sunk a behemoth stash. The mouth gapes, the eyes are dull. So. Ah, I see. We could either harvest its flesh and its mustache, presumably for food, dig around in its innards, which would probably give us some sort of supply, or we can let the beast go, which we shall do. Its wound is fatal. It will surely head to the Gant hole. So we'll go and send it there. A behemoth goes to die. The crew watches uncomfortably as the red wake spreads. Is this mercy or cruelty? The murmured arguments continue long into the night. The looks they shoot you are all the harsher for their uncertainty. Could we not just explain that we are sending him to the Gant pole to do blood magic with the old, very old lady who's fought off naked old dudes there? Yeah, maybe we shouldn't explain that. Maybe we shouldn't explain that we've sent it to the Gant pole for that particular purpose. I know that we've had a lot of these crew, I think, on with us during our journeys, but we may have had to cycle through quite a few of them, and also as revenge for your captain's sister. Yes, that is also something that is for our previous captain, this captain's sister, or so we're calling her. did end up dying to a behemoth stash just outside Port Carnelian so very long ago. We'll claim this as our revenge. We are at Adam's Way. I think we'll use, if we kept it, a port report. Yes, we do. The port report for Mount Palmerston as our entry payment. Not going to use that for anything else other than for here or the Admiralty. So let's give them a tale of hell so that we can enter into the Presbyterat's Adam's Way. Presbyterat has never explained its interest in devils. They are keen to hear what you learned in Mount Palmerston. A new day. An exchange of glances. Your ship is waved on towards the long stone jetty. The day has just begun. In the town square, a yellow-robed priest plants a seed in a bed of black soil. No sooner has she patted down the soil than a tiny shoot pokes forth. By mid-morning, it will be a sapling. By lunchtime, a budding tree. By the evening's end, it will wither and fall. And that you must be on your ship before then. That is our timer. We've got 4 activities, basically, that we can do whilst we are here. And we shall do them to our heart's content. Now, I'm thinking that this may be where we get an elegiac cockatoo. This seems like the most likely location for that sort of thing. And I assume that that might be Presbyterat Curiosity. I think that might be the case. And we need that for our cook here. Or, not the current cook that we have, not the nacreous outcast, but for our bandaged poissonnier. So we'll go see if the exhibition of Presbyterat Curiosities contains an elegiac cockatoo that we can purchase or steal. For the insignificant price of a single echo, the sober showman will lay the wonders of the Elder Continent directly at your feet. Let's go see. Pleasant distraction, you head towards the bright tents. Oh, yes, we can. Fortunately, we need a sunlight-filled mirror catch box. Dang it. Okay. We'll note that down for the next time we visit here. That's a sunlight-filled mirror catch box to Adam's Way at the circus. Well, what to do here? Since we are not able to purchase that cockatoo, do we grant shore leave? Terror's not that high. And then apparently most of these folks are going to be dead anyway. Visit the grotesquerie. Today, a sign stands before a crimson tent. Today, behold, a monstrous aboriginal of the Elder Continent, a disciple of the Thief of Faces. Or do we attend the Cabinet of Curiosities? A sign outside the tent reads, revealed for the first time innumerable mysteries of the interior, a profusion of Presbyterat secrets to perplex and petrify. A case catches your eye. It is labeled the Covenant. I wonder which of these two we can do. You know, we could probably do both. Since it's not going to take... These are both going to take a single day. We don't really have anything else to do here. We'll probably go try to catch another seed from that tree, but that'll only take one day. Let's look at the Cabinet of Curiosities first, and then check out the Thief of Faces, which we've already seen. We already retrieved one of them from Port Carnelian, delivered them here once. We'll go and look at that later. Let's go check out the Covenant, though. Here is a plaster cast of one of the tablets that stands at the mountain's foot. A helpful plaque furnishes the translation. A prester saith, when I die, yet shall I not die. The hour of my death shall be chosen, yet no man shall choose it. I am eternal, and yet my reign is circumscribed by law and fate. I will feast at my funeral, and my child shall be my cup-bearer. Interesting. So, I guess that's why they eat each other? For some reason? I still don't get it. Perhaps they're recycling immortality somehow? But we got a memory of distant shores for it and some fragments. I guess we can check out the Thief of Faces, because there was another name for it, but we never really got a firm grasp on what exactly they were. A sign stands before the crimson tent. Today, behold a monstrous aboriginal of the elder continent, a cyclops. Oh, what? A different one. Okay, so that actually cycled through. Let's just check our other options here. Let's try to catch a nut first. Nope, we missed. Branch is too far, the nut too small, and your hand too slow. When it strikes the paved square, the nut bursts into brief, pointless life. Thread-like shoots. Squirm out, groping for life. Desperate roots claw at a crack in the stone. It's no good. Its strength spent. The shoot browns, stiffens, and expires. We gained a lamentable relic for our attempt, though. And maybe we can assist here at the Animeshins Hospital, since our brisk campaigner has actually survived it. I don't know if we've ever chosen this option before. Suppose we can check it again. I'm not quite sure if it's a waste, but if it is, we can always use our recent news to get back in for a second round. Let's ask the brisk campaigner to educate the monks. She has a unique perspective on the disease, being, as far as you know, the only person to survive it. And animeshins is what they're talking about. That is the state of your soul burning you up. Soul burning entirely. We actually helped treat it, I believe, with some god's assistance, along with a bunch of, like, other bits and bobs on the way. But she gives 2 lectures. My cure is not one that can or should be replicated, but in the course of pursuing it, I learned a great deal about my condition. The monks listen avidly. Afterwards, they express their appreciation with a sack of sliding black beans. The abbey's coffee is highly regarded for its robust, aromatic flavor. The prior is happy to tell you that they're secret. We feed the beans to a certain breed of sloths in the valley. The juices of their digestive tract dissolve the less ripe beans while applying a distinct nutty texture to the surviving superior beans. Then, once the bean has completed its passage through the sloth, we blah, 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 blah. Got a sack of dark drop coffee beans for our trouble. A tale of terror, and a few fragments. Just 3. But I think that'll be all of our stuff done at the Animeshins Hospital. We could, of course, help out there, but not sure quite about that one. I think we'll head back to the curiosities. I'm not sure if there are any of these that are unique from another. They might all just be flavor text. We don't have a something waits us, so we can't actually attend to this feast. Well, whatever. Let's, shall we check an impossibility or a peculiar personal enhancement out instead? Let's look at the enhancement. We already looked at the cabinet of curiosities. Today, an example of the change to those intemperate souls who dare to prove on the Almighty's design. Behold, a gentleman in possession of a peculiar personal enhancement. Within, a pair of watchful assistants guard the tent, turning away children and anyone prone to hysteria, fainting, and irregularities of the heart or delicacy. I assume that means human consumption. The line is very long. Inside, spectators fill chairs before a curtained stage. When there are no more chairs, they stand. Elbows jostle, necks crane. I confess the showman is compelled to explain. This gentleman is not a native of the elder continent. However, as an aficionado of the remarkable, I could not deny him a place in this exhibit. Steel yourselves. The lights come up. My, how peculiar. That's it? We don't even get to see what... I mean, I guess it's implied as to what is enhanced here, but, come on. We got a tale of terror, a tale of terror, and a memory of distant shores. We were both shocked and awed by this man, and gained 50 fragments and a little bit of terror in and of itself. But we're done here. We will head back to the ship. That is our day in Adam's Way. But we should go buy more supplies since somebody said that it was going to be a 10 supply reduction. So we'll get up to 20, I think. Ooh, that's going to be expensive. Okay, I didn't even look at that. My brain parsed that as, oh yeah, it'll be the same as in Port Carnelian. Okay, well, I guess we'll need to make it over to Port Carnelian anyway. And we'll get some fuel, too. Up to 20 fuel as well, whatever. And then we'll sail off the south edge of the map. Boy, do I hope we end up in Port Carnelian. I hope we get sent up that river. But into the bleeding waters here. Let's go check it out. And the last time we got to about this point, about where the water starts turning red, actually, is when our ship started taking damage. So let's check our, keep an eye on our hull in the top left, see if we actually do. Nope. No damage taken. Not yet, at least. Only living ships may dare Adam's way and survive. Your hull shudders and crackles as the water grips it. Oh yeah, and you can hear like a little stream going. Yep, our ship's still taking it. Really? We have a living ship now? Come on. Well, we've gone the way upstream. They say that only the captain of a living ship can dare the waters of Adam's way, but they never met you. I have a living ship. Come on. I have the only living ship, I'm pretty sure. Unless there's like 2 ships that are made out of a lifelike thing. Maybe you can sail on like a properly alive Z-Beast. Anyway, the mountain's blood. Upstream, up the Red River into the continent's heart. With every mile, the red is deeper. Forests unseen. In London, they never imagine what grows here. Orchards of bones, iron upright as aspens. Flint pillars fecund with faceted apples. Gemmed faces turn to watch you from the rock. Hold it. Fecund. I think that was one of the colors. I wonder if we can get something from this. A color. Another color. But gemmed, or probably gemmed, right? Gemmed faces turn to watch you from the rock. Your crew are slipping ashore when you moor, giving themselves to the river. You are almost alone when you arrive at Caution, that 100-tongued city. Its flowers shine like fruited ice. The pilgrim wakers condescend to meet with you. They give you gifts, an egg and a knife. Turn back, they tell you. The presbyter will not meet with you. You have not lived enough. How right they are. How right they were. Oh, how right they were twice. You stand at the docks of the port at the river's mouth and look upon your empty ship. In your left hand you hold a knife, in your right an egg. We've now got 1 crewmate, as expected. We have a judgment's egg, which is very rare, and an outlandish artifact, as well as the touch of the south. Wait a minute, touch. Didn't our Carnelian exile say something about the touch? So maybe we need to sail off of all of the sides, because we do know there's a route to all of the sides. We've sailed off the north and now the south. I think there's the route on the southwest, past the Dawn engine that goes to the west, and then the east is just an open sea. Ooh. Very interesting. Oh, please turn me around. Okay, so that did not teleport me anywhere. Yeah, we are stuck going very slowly, though. So we're going to have to spend quite a bit of our fortune doing this. We are going to not be able to assemble a crew, I assume, in Adam's way. Even though I would really love if you could do that. You'd think there would be a way to go shout around looking for crew. But, I guess that's not going to be the case. We'll have to travel this slowly, for quite a distance, which is unfortunate, but necessary. We now know where we can get those touches, because if we talk to the Carnelian Exile, we'll do that now. No. Enter the house of every power. Okay, touch. I think I replaced touch of every power, or something like that. So maybe it's not sailing off the edges of the map. You must have mastered the map. What does that mean? Is it sailing off the edges of the map? She wants us to sail off the eastern edge. Um, I don't know. Maybe there are houses somewhere. Like royal houses. Maybe the Khanate then? I'm really not sure. Well, at the very least, we should be eating through our supplies at a much slower rate. Our terror didn't actually go up all that much, which is nice if it went up at all. Um, so if we need to, we can slip around enemies at this speed. Maybe Adam's Way will let me pick up crew there. Maybe. What should we trade for it? We'll trade our recent news to get back in a second time. Anybody here want to come out to sea? Anyone at all? Probably not. Let's assist at the Animetions Hospital. We've already... Yeah, so that's just a repeatable thing. Oh. We can root out a reckless poet. The Cellarar that discovered scraps of love poetry on the pantry floor. The abbot wants the perpetrators found before they dangerously inflame the inmates' passions. Sure. I don't think we've seen this one before. The culprit. You catch the poet red-handed, composing by candlelight in a cupboard. Her hair is damp with sweat. She clutches the page she was writing tightly, knowing you'll try to take it. You watch its corners curl under her heat. Sorrowfully, the monks break the poet's pen and spill her ink. They give you her magnum opus, the courier's wish, to you for disposal. Disposal, my goodness. Cannot talk today. So we got one romantic literature for that. We'll go spend the rest of this, I suppose, trying to catch nuts that fall from the tree of a single day. Nope, lamentable relic, and... Ah, yes. Oh, an outlandish relic. Or outlandish artifact. Not quite what I thought would happen, considering how difficult it seems to have been to get this, but we actually finally caught one. One in the hand. An hour you wait, and another hour. In that time, nuts fall beyond your reach. You ignore them. Clack, clack, clack. There, a nut has fallen from a high limb. It ricochets from branch to branch as it falls. Your hand snaps out. The nut lands in your palm. Glossy, smooth, and brown. A number of passers-by cheer your catch. Well, we did all of that. I think I will grant shore leave to try to reduce terror. It probably won't do it very much. But we'll need all the terror we can have because we'll be traveling very slowly, and if we see anything, we will also be traveling with our lights off. We'll be doing it for a long, long way. Let's grant our crew some shore leave. Pay for them to spend an improving day at the exhibition. I will pay for one man to do it. Maybe not so improving it after all. Some see the sights, some experiment with the hot, honeyed wine of the Elder Continent. Still others pay furtive visits to a shadow tent whose sign promises the perfumed pantherin dances of the exotic South performed to authentic and rousing music twice hourly. Considering we've only got one dude, this guy had a busy day at the circus. But, that is our day in Adam's Way. No crew gained at all. So we'll make our way over there. We'll pick up an excess of supply. I think 17 should probably be enough. Well, let's get up to 25-ish. I'm going to roughly double or triple the amount of fuel we need to get places, because we'll be traveling so slowly. That should be enough. 9 supplies will definitely be enough for our single crew member to get us back home. Everything else cannot purchase, and I don't want to sell my Shrine to Stone. So we'll just hug the coast. Hopefully not happen upon any nasty beasties. The biggest problem for us here is going to be if we encounter those bluebirds, because There are... they kind of swarm around in the same way that bats do. Those birds. And they have 400 health. With our crew situation being the way that it is, we really don't have a chance of escaping them. They travel kind of eclectically. Maybe that's not the right word for it, but they travel in very odd patterns, and they do it very quickly. Ooh, I might actually sync to Igel. Maybe we can grab folks there. And do we have Centillic? We do. We have 2. So we can actually trade Centillic to gain a single crewmate, which may honestly be worth it for us. We can trade that over the Fathom King's Hold. But that'll at least give us the chance to survive if we get below half health and take a hit. Or if we take a hit from a story event somewhere, from a crew member. That takes away a crew member. Because if we lose this last crew member, we are properly gone. We are dead and buried. We go and sink early here, because I think we're just outside of Igel anyway. Boy, do I hope this doesn't end my run. We've gotten so very far. Oh, God. Lights off, lights off. What is that? A boundling. Ow. Oh, no, you haven't found me. You haven't found me. Please don't hit hard. Okay, don't hit me at all. That works, too. Stop clanging into things. Oh, my goodness. 18 damage. Okay, this is very much not good. We need to get rid of this dude. Come on. Christ, I hate this. Okay, he didn't hit us that time, at least. I cannot believe we ran into something right off the freaking bat. We had... Leave us alone, you stupid mechanical shark. I hate you. Dock. Freaking hell. Did you do the sail off the edge thing? Yes, I did. We're still doing alright. Not doing great, but we're doing okay. I think I'm actually going to... Well... we'll assemble a normal port report. Yeah, normal port report. I'm going to start sacrificing my memories of Nook here. This will reduce your taste of freedom quality by 5. You'll be able to spend less time in Nook each visit, but you will gain less terror upon leaving. Do we gain terror? Told you you'd have a shit show with only 1 crew. I know, but I wanted to adventure it. That's one of the particular reasons we picked this ship. Is that it would give us the ability to sail off the edge of the map. Not just because of the fact that it was technically ish free, and very, very good. That was totally not it. But I am going to sacrifice 1 of my memories of Nook here, just so we don't gain terror when we leave Nook. I think the amount that we have is good. And it looks like... I think the reason that we can actually do this is that we had so much time in Nook is because of this taste of freedom, according to this text. That was the reason we were able to stay there so long. So maybe we should hold on to that. I will also consume some more needles. Right? Maybe? Maybe we dine with the crew instead. Which of these shall we do? Let's dine with the crew. I think that'll give us the opportunity to potentially get people. Maybe? Probably not. The captain and the first mate are absent. Crew gather and tell stories of when the Fortis Kettle was still free to roam the sea floor. The captain was a jolly man, fond of a drink, and laughed at icebergs. The First mate was everyone's confidant. The two were meant to be married, even, when they got back to London, but Eigel called imperiously, and the first mate drove the kettle full throttle onto the spines. After the meal, the first mate returns from their latest exploration in the engine room. The tomb colonist rises with a sigh. It'll be time to rebandage the captain then. I'm sorry, what? What is this guy doing to the captain? Like, he's definitely, makes it sound like they're in love, but rebandage? What the heck? What is he doing? Lost some terror, gained some needles of Fortis. We might as well consume some. 3 is more resonant than 1. A piquant blend. The first mate has selected 3 particular flavors for you. Here is a prisoner's breath of fresh air after 50 years in a cell. Here's a proud father summoned to court in a sordid case against his son. Here's lavender water on a widow's kerchief. And the square of light on the wall of an empty bedroom. So we've learned a little bit more about the first mate. And eaten that. I think we'll keep our memories of Nook. Because Nook is a location we visit relatively often. I do want to go deeper there. I want to go deeper than we have gone. We will sell our sack of dark shock coffee beans. Yeah, we can't sell them on the surface anymore. We might as well just sell it here. And we could sell a solace fruit, but we've only got 1, and I'd rather keep that just in case. And we will maybe get some more fuel here. Supplies shouldn't be needed. Supplies we are going to be very low in consuming. Hopefully this guy will piss right off. Get out of here, you useless shark lookalike. Once he is head out, we'll go and surf as soon as we get out of here so we don't come into contact with that bugger anymore. And we'll head off towards... what was it? The Fathom King's Hold is the next closest place. Be really careful, can't you lose crew by getting hit? Yes, once you're below, I believe, half health. And I've got about 125 to spare before there. So I'll take it... Whoa, God. I'll take it real careful. There's a Lorn Fluke. There's the Lorn Fluke that we planned on touching upon. Planned on fighting back when we had crewmates. Jesus. Yeah, we'll just travel with lights off for a little second. There's a moray I can just see between the panels in the northeast. Either of those we want to take on. I am at least happy that we made it to Adam's Way and got that crossed off the checklist, though. Why do all the edges of the map have to be terrible things? Why can't there be something just surprisingly really nice? That's what I want. Everything in this game is surprisingly really terrible for you. I just want something that's a nice little encounter. But could go completely repair our ship for the price of a live specimen. I will actually do that. Having our ship be at low health is bad, and we can always get a live specimen. As they work, the Drownies sing of shaping, of iron, of stone, of flesh. They sing of persuasion, of correction, of force. They sing of coral and how it may be punished. They sing of stars. We paid them in the live specimens, a single one, to go fix our hull up to full. We'll go receive an audience here. We will ask for a crewmate. Sweet. Just any random one. Perhaps it's someone you knew, perhaps you're feeling philanthropic, perhaps you're simply desperate for crew. A wall puckers open, and a guard in a thorned exoskeleton brings in a shivering zailor. Captain, she cries, it was the cold. Go, the Fathom King says languidly, I won't release her twice. I'd like to think that this is, oh, we could actually do that twice. I don't think it would help our situation, though, and we've only got one Scintilic, so uh, I'd like to think that that was one of the ones that went insane and jumped off the ship. We'll go grab a port report while we're here. And beyond that, we're all done. We've rescued one of our crew from the sea, so we've got a bit of a buffer. We start taking damage. How are we going to do this? Up to rack. Up to rack, I think. Maybe by way of Pigmote Isle. Ah, Trist. Secret opportunity, discreet opportunity has arisen to spend time with your favorite officer. This will noticeably reduce your terror unless it's already low, but if you have a sweetheart back home, you may want to think twice. I do not have a sweetheart back home, but I'm trying to get one. Will this affect that? I don't have one yet. I think it should be okay. A tryst with the Clatterier and the surgery. I don't expect any new patients this evening. Or we can end it. I was considering romancing her as a way to bear a scion, since I've learned that we can't actually bear scions with any of the officers to bear heirs. I think we'll probably actually end this one. She won't leave, right? She won't be a what is it, silted lover? That's the term for it. Probably not. She seems, I don't know if level-headed is the right word, but non-emotionally invested. Just in case. Right? Maybe. We could just absolutely be a fiend and go after all the romance options. We did have that weird thing at Nook with some of the what was it? Fish folk? Drowned folk? Something like that. We did have that thing, which was weird. This explicitly, though, mentions that, and I don't know if this stays. She doesn't leave. It just gives you 5 terror and sets your trysts to 0. Yeah, so maybe we do want to end this just in case we find somebody nice back home who can actually bear us an heir. Which is that's such a Victorian way of looking at things. Ah, no, we can't have any more liaisons with her. We need to find ourselves somebody who can bear us an heir. Ah, her. Tea, yes. Smoking pipes. Ah. But yeah, we'll call it here. The affair is at an end. Perhaps they're gone. Perhaps you've thought better of it. Shouldn't cause an issue since you don't have a lover back home. Well, in that case, a tryst with the Clatterier. In the surgery, I don't expect any new patients this evening. Let's go. Instructive. She's made up the operating table with a couple of towels, one spread over the surface and the other folded into a pillow. I like to give instructions, she says, settling herself on the surface. It's not a reflection on your skills. The bowl over there is for you to soak your hands. The water is icy. I like a cold touch, but don't go numb. When you're ready. Does she have relations with dead patients? I like a cold touch? What? Lady, you gotta... Like, you're weird. And we knew that, but, like... It's a little weird. It's a tad weird there. But, yeah, we'll keep that. We lost 25 terror from it, so, certainly not all bad. And hey, this captain may be on the way out, considering our current crew and vast distance to travel. Stop off at Pigmote Isle, see if we can Who knows? Maybe we can recruit a guinea pig there. In a decade once we arrive. Hoo boy. I'm pretty sure that the half speed that they set is a set speed for all ships, because this ship has a higher top speed, I'm pretty sure, than our previous ship, or at least it feels like it. But this half speed, I'm pretty sure, is like half of the original ship's top speed, and that has not been adjusted for our current ship. Or maybe the engine upgrade doesn't take into account. Just go to London and get crew? I mean, yes, but there's a lot of space between here and London, and there are lots of things between here and London too, so... And I want to stop off at Iraq. I want to see how it's doing now. Because we've sent the ships there that should have improved its situation there. Your terror goes up by double when you're under a quarter crew. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. Well, it's a good thing we had a romantic liaison with our Clatteriere there. Yeah, no people to speak of. Have you not noticed that? I have not noticed that. That is very, very worrying. We're gonna head to Rack though, because it's basically on the way. It's like slightly off angle, but yellow pips are 2 at a time. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Okay, we'll hug this island then on our way to Rack. Assuming the red pips are 4 at a time. My goodness, this game really likes to punish you. I suppose I kind of knew what I was signing up for, but... I mean, geez. Oh, a vortex. That's... Oh, and a giant crab? You're kidding. I cannot outrun this vortex, I think. I guess it's just... If I get sucked in that, I am not coming back out. Is that a ship or is it a lighthouse? I think that's a lighthouse. You can just barely see the light cone passing by the right side of the screen, but it's... pretty sure that's a lighthouse, so we're okay. We are slowly making progress. Gaining terror at an abominable rate. Sad I missed you going off the south end though. Had a work thing pop up. Yeah. Well, hey, it'll be in the VOD. Oh, and a shark too? You're kidding me. What's with all the angry, gigantic Z-beasts coming around when I've got 2 crewmates and no power? Instead of when I'm actually off hunting for them. Like, what is this? Yeah, no, I got the VODs going up on my YouTube channel, so if you want to watch them back, YouTube channel is ASCII Archive, ASC3I Archive. That's where all of these go up after I'm done with them. Though I've been having some upload issues lately. I'm sure they will eventually be up there, no matter how many tries I have to go to actually upload them. Okay, and there is Rack. And a ship. Oh yeah, that goes up to 4 at a time. So these are questionably friendly. Connate ships, that ship that's near us. Assuming I recognize the shape of it correctly. That's a research ship. So I'm not too worried about that one. Let's go stop in on Rack, though. The air is stale and off-duty crewman keens softly. There is one off-duty crewman. They switch out, really. Assuming they even have the ability to do that. But, okay. Let's go grab the port report. and visit the Royal Hull to check about our ships. There we go. Lost some terror, gained some money. We got some scrap too. Oh, and we actually, I guess we must have finished one of the visions that is present. One of the visions that are present. There we go. Recall a vision of cups. You've seen the fair king puff his cheeks before, just like the jocular gentleman. Would he do it again for you? The fair king laughs and assumes an air of faux solemnity. You requested of me, my dear fellow. I oblige you, he says, puffing his cheeks before bursting into a fit of laughter. How is that? Was it the gentleman performing the king's gesture, or was the king performing the gentleman's? We share a vision of friendship with the fair king. What do have you shared? We gained a Veils for it, though, so that's good. We'll head back here. Yeah, we'll go check the quality of the city here. The wreckers are looking flush. They have done well. Supplies have floated from the broken ships like manna from heaven. The city is bigger, too, with new wrecks added to it. The king has given one of the new hulls a name in Gaelic. Few understand its meaning, but everyone is sure it was selected in your honor. Well, that's nice. We'll go wrecking some more then. Vendor bite, apparently. And yeah, look at that. Look at those prices. Fuel, 8. Supplies, 15. Those are both the cheapest options that we've ever seen for both of those, really. And this is right outside of Fallen London too. Rack is. It's right next to the Salt Lions, right outside of Fallen London. We can actually just sail here for all our fuel needs, because if we do need to head north, this isn't far enough out that it's becoming a problem if we need to head to someplace like Venderbite. We can just refuel up here real quick, fuel and supply, and head out before we go anywhere, which is just fantastic. But I think we will sell off our romantic literature here. We got it for free, and it didn't cost us anything, so the kind of cheap sale price is not great, but present. We also have a closer source of romantic literature than having to go to the Khanate if we ever need it for anything in the city, or for anything basically on the western side of the map. We're still good on supply. We have not eaten through a single one since we lost all our crew. Good on torpedo components. We don't need those either, though they're actually for sale here cheaper than they were before. Oh, I've totally forgotten. We need to update our undersea economy. Because, where's this rack? Has changed its shop. So, what does new rack need? What should we call this? We shall call this, rack prospering. So they have bolts of spider silk. Wow, it's been a long time since we've done this. Long time since we found a new location. And they will purchase, so it's a sale from us, for 56 echo. Firkin of prisoner's honey. Also only a sale purchase for 28 echo. I can't recall what we get Firkins of prisoner's honey for in Fallen London. We can't buy them there, but this may be a very promising short run if we end up wanting to do that. And then they have purchase for a casket of sapphires. For 1 centillic. Then torpedo components. For 4 echo, cheaper than anywhere else. Fuel for can be the first thing to be bought and sold. Can be bought for 8 echo, very cheap, and sold for 1. Of course, you probably never sell fuel. And supplies, which they were struggling on for a long time. That's what we were purchasing lots of things with. Now they've got it in excess because they are selling it for 15 echo. Super cheap. I'm buying it for 3. And last but not least, romantic literature. Now that they have the ability to have some off time, to not worry about feeding themselves all the time. They've got time for recreation, which is apparently romantic literature. And they'll buy that for 20, or we can buy it for 20, and they will buy it for 15. So not too shabby. Let's go taste the tether, I think, since we did get one. I think we got all of the cup options, because we did just ask him about the cup. Let's go put on the ring. I think this one, because usually there are 2. I think the ones with the images over them, the one with the I don't know what you would call these, curiosities, I think they are the ones that are new, and those will actually give you something. White walls, they're almost glowing in the light. Tether melts in your mouth. There's the vibrant lady of the house. Her red hair stands out prettily against the white walls. Her face freckled like the night sky. Her cheeks flush as you carry the pails of milk into the kitchen. She coughs 2 times as you pass. She'll sneak out at the second bell tonight. She bites her lip. That bite, do you recognize it? It's familiar somehow. Hold up. Are we going to ask... Are we going to ask him if he's the vibrant lady? I mean, he's very pretty. Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's recall a vision of bone here. The vibrant lady bit her lip just as the king does, didn't she? Didn't he? The fair king slowly bites his lip. Like that, he wheels closer to you and touches your wrist. He smiles enigmatically. Here we are again. The king kisses your hand, squeezes it gently. You share a vision of romance with the fair king? What are you two to be? And we gain some hearts for that. So, as lovely as you are, I am currently searching for somebody who will bear me an heir. Maybe we were actually able to do this with the friendship thing too. And I assume we go back here. I think it's like a knife is the last one. So maybe it's a rival. The last option is. I would probably don't want to do it as a rival. I think it's just a friend. Will probably be fine. Sadly, I'm not very interested in romancing him at the moment. And then I suppose we can find our way back to the escaped composer. He does not have anything for us. We still have to complete his requests. That being to deliver his composition to Dahoot, and we've been too afraid to enter there the whole time. So that's him done. That's us gone. And I think that'll be us gone from the city as well. We'll go and head out here. And we'll head over to Fallen London, oh so very slowly. Maybe up by way of the Salt Lions. A something over there? Is it a moving something? It is not. What something are you? We'll surface if it's something bad. That's what we'll do. Oh, there's 2 somethings over here. It's a coral reef? They usually don't kind of ping with the sonar unless there's something collectible. Oh, I see. It was a bit of oxygen storage. Corsair Undergalley. Oh, that's a... I probably could have taken it on. For that much health? Yeah, we could have absolutely taken it on. Well, instead, like an idiot, we'll take damage. I got a little worried, considering our current state. Oh god, and there's that angler crab again. Woohoo! Let's sail right towards the salt lines then, uh-huh. Could you turn in any direction except for north, please? And as soon as we get here. Thank you. Perfect. We'll go and... Actually, we'll keep our lights off to save on fuel. Nope, we aren't saving on fuel. We are gaining terror at an alarming rate, because we are gaining it at double speed. I forgot. We'll scooch our way over to the Salt Lions port, dock there, grab the port report, and then head straight on back to Fallen London. At the ridiculously slow speed that it is. And I suppose we may as well pick over the encampment. Nothing happened. We've got a fragment. So we will head on back home here. Now, once we get back, well, we'll have to fill up our crew. That'll be our first point of, that'll be our first decision. Which isn't really a decision at all, considering we are effectively... Well, we just can't go anywhere if we don't have any crew. If we have our crew below half the way we have, traveling like this is torturous. But we should, after that, head up to Hunter's Keep, and we can get our tireless mechanic some sleep. I think that was what his request was. And so we did pick up the clay men, which we will be sure not to drop off. Maybe we'll go there first. I'm actually not... I can't quite remember if dropping off the clay men is an optional thing. Let's head up to Hunter's Keep. It's really not far away. We can already see... I believe that's the underside of it. Just up here. Right? No, this is a small island. But either way, it shouldn't be very far at all. If this is the decision that ends my run, I will be so annoyed. I will be so very annoyed. But I think we'll be safe-ish. Safe-ish. I just don't want to lose the clay men if it's an automatic take from our inventory. I'd much rather use the one that's required, since we've carried them all this way, for our tireless mechanic here. But we should, once we get here... There we go. Dock and be able to see him. Oh, yes, so he does have, check. This doesn't take up anything. We might as well check in on the ruins. Yeah, nothing there. Let's excavate the cellar. I wonder if this would have been a different thing if we had come here while the sisters were alive? Or maybe they're still alive, we don't know. If the location wasn't burnt down, but apparently we'll have to... Oh, I see. Spend some supplies to dig it out now that we are... now that this is ruins. So he requests that we excavate the cellar. Right, the mechanic says. That's a problem. The pool we need is down there. He points to the ruins. I'm afraid we'll need to do a little digging. Beneath Hunter's Keep. It takes a full day to clear away sufficient ruins to reach the cellars. In the deepest sub-basement, your candles illuminate a litter of tumbled stones, the remnants of a temple. The signs on the stones have a Kaganian look. The pool at the cellar's center is almost dry. The remaining water there seethes oddly at the candlelight, as if it were near boiling, but it's quite cool to the touch. The writhing river flows near here, the mechanic remarks. one of the tributaries of Dream. My enemies find me when I sleep, but this water will attract my enemies to this poor fellow. He bends to dip his hand in the water and sketches a sign on the clay man's forehead. The man watches him stolidly. The mechanic hands him the mirror catch box. Hold this, he says. Keep it open. Don't let go no matter what happens. The clay man's huge hands enfold the box. There, the mechanic says, turning to you. A serpent trap. Now I can sleep. I can finally sleep. He smiles. And then I think I may be able to offer you something rather interesting. Ooh. So we have a serpent trap. Lost a foxfire candle. I guess it was good. It was good that we had one. Very interesting. So, yeah, I assume, yeah, no ruins. So what? Pray tell. Oh, we actually can't do this. So he turned that into a serpent trap, our mirror catch box. But we can't actually do this because we need crewmates 3, and we don't have that. We have crew of 2. So we'll go to Fallen London, pick up some crew, and let our tireless mechanic, who is very, very tired indeed, enjoy his sleep. As we trundle our way over there. For a traveling heart that wishes to travel, this is really not that fast. Come on, buddy. If I insult you more, will you go faster? But we're just close by. It shouldn't take more than, a few minutes to get to London from here, now that we can see it. I suppose that's how ships properly work. Just because you can see something on the horizon does not necessarily mean that that you will be able to reach it in a timely manner. Especially old sailing ships. Probably not engine ships like we've got now. But old sailing ships could absolutely take ages if the wind isn't on their side. If you want when the sisters were around, then you'd have to trade a memory of distant shores, a Z story, and a tale of terror instead of supplies. Okay, and it's different dialogue. I see. Yeah, so that would have been a much better trade to undertake. But as our fuel ticks into the single digits, we are finally back in Fallen London. So we'll go collect messages from the Harbor Master and probably turn in a bunch of port reports. Just get in all the fuel. I think we should be good to turn all this in, right? Oh yeah, we got plenty of space. Back to the Admiral. Turn all of these in for a heck of a lot of fuel. And a fair bit of echo. Not a ton, but... did we collect on his thing? No. No, I don't think we picked up whatever information he wishes for. But... we should grab some more recent news. We will not buy the Z-Side Mansion. I looked into it, and it doesn't seem like it's a very good option. You lose a little bit more terror per rest, but that's... I think it's really not that much, and this is amazingly costly. I think it's 10,000? Yeah. So even though we could get it, we'd be left with almost no echo. I'd rather kind of coast on the profits we made. We'll go and rest once, I think. We only have 2 restful nights, sadly. I wish I could get more. Anything to do in the study? Now we could turn our captivating treasure into another heirloom. I think we may. I think we might. Maybe I should hold on to... Is it taking up space in the hold? No. Oh, right. We also have to deliver our claymen. There you go. Ashore, one by one, they rise uncomplainingly with no trace of stiffness or discomfort from the long voyage. The deck resounds beneath their heavy tread. A shroom yard manager waits on dock, tapping her foot. About time, she says. Here's your payment. Come along now, you. There's a good construct. We gained 100 echo. I think last time we gained 120, so it's 20 per clayman that we bring back. Really not a great trade. It's better than hauling some cargo, doing some cargo sales, since we don't pay anything, I'm pretty sure. If we really had a lot of cargo space, then we'd be able to do that pretty well. But it's still not great. We'll go carouse in the wolf stack docks again. Ah, there we go, and we have romance. So let's go romance the likely lass. She tipsily claims to be a spy. Okay, it's the exact same one. Whatever she is, she's easy to like, and the evening ends. When the evening ends, you're still together. So we'll go and do that. An interlude. The next morning, she gives you a pewter locket. As you reach for it, she grips it briefly in her fist. Don't you dare forget me, she says. And we now have somebody back at home who could bear us a sign, hopefully. God, I am such a Victorian era gentleman right now. The gentleman is probably not the modern equivalent of it. There's probably something much more much less pleasant. You could call those the guys from back then. We have the likely lass, I think it was. And we picked up one crewmate, but let's hire on more here. We're going to get ourselves back up to sailing speed. Uh, 13, 16, somewhere in the 20s I will be happy with. 21, yeah, that's totally fine. Very, very decent price. Ship, doing well enough. I don't think we have anything for the Roser's Wharf. Yeah, we also don't have a free evening to cycle it. We've already spent an evening in our home, in our lodgings, sleeping away the fear and gaining restful nights. Nothing to do in the study except convert that captivating treasure to an heirloom, which I'm still not sure about. I think let's go see how the tireless mechanic is going to enjoy his sleep. Let's allow the mechanic to enjoy his sleep. It might be messy, he warns you. Could you have a couple of strong zailors standing by? Tell them to snap the box shut when the trouble begins. He holds up a bottle of laudanum. I will be sleeping deeply. Let's give it a shot. Messy indeed. When nothing seems to be happening, you take to your own bunk, but a roar from the clayman brings you sprinting back to the mechanic's cabin. You fling open the door. The man's eyes seethe with Viric flame. Viric, ooh. It's struggling against the efforts of the zailors to restrain it. As you rush to assist, it smashes one zailor against the wall with terrible force, but the other manages to snap the box closed. Instantly, the man goes stiff, a lifeless clay statue. A Viric glow now pulsates from the box. In the bunk, the mechanic sleeps on, his face wreathed in dreamy smiles. He will sleep so until morning. And we now have a mirror catch box full of very angry dream snakes. We saw this so long ago, as a sale, I believe, that we could make in Con Shadow. But it turns out that Viric, the color, for the first curator, is actually tied to this, which is really, really good. Because now we have two, I want to say, colors for the first curator in Venderbite. I think we have Irigo. I think we picked that up from somewhere. I can't quite remember. Oh, and we've actually also learned something else here. You've learned that the mechanic stole a secret from the dreams of the stone pigs. Did he really? That's interesting. Yes, that is that. And we can ask him what the heck else is going on here. Ask the mechanic to explain what exactly the hell is going on. Well, it's like this. I stole a secret from the Echo Bazaar with the help of the Finger Kings. You know, the serpents who rule Dream. Then I reneged on the Finger Kings. Don't look at me like that. Would you rather I'd given them the secret? Pigs of Stone. I talk about engines all the time. I'm sure you've noticed. And I dream about them. Okay, so it sounds like he's going to give us an engine. And I dream about them. I found myself dreaming of the stone pigs. They're... Oh, I don't entirely understand still. They're how the bazaar travels between stars. Did you know they can do that? Did you know they did that? And they sleep, so the Finger Kings can crack their dreams open. So the Finger Kings recruited me. I found a secret in those dreams. An engine like the Z's never seen. Oh, Captain, let me build it for you. You won't be sorry, but there are some things I need. I know. Isn't it always the way? It really is. So, the unsettling sage, we now have to rescue or ransom him from wisdom. We have to go to Frostfound for some reason. Oh my goodness, and we have to take an element of dawn and a casket of sapphires and 40 units of Stygian ivories, along with the mechanic's secret and the unsettling sage to King Eater's castle. My goodness. 40 Stygian ivory is going to cost a pretty penny. I hope this engine is worth it, whatever it is. And we'll have to do something at Frostfound. I guess this is why we'll have to go into the castle at Frostfound. Interesting. We'll head there. Oh, shoot, I should have written that down. We have to go to... Where was it? Wither, Frostfound, and King Eater's Castle. So we'll go cross out his previous quest here. And get that down. We have to go to... Wither for the sage, something like that, sage. Frostfound. And then bring 40. Yeah, 40 Stygian ivory to King Eater's Castle. That'll be a fun time. We'll go and try to do that at some point. That'll probably be at a later date. What should we do now? Whoa, what? The Eyeless Skull is a mascot? Are you kidding? Oh, you know, this is this is where I got Irigo. I could probably turn this into the guy at Venderbite. So let's make a short trip. Because amazingly we got back just as it was time to supposedly end the stream, but I do want to get a few things done. We'll take a nice safe trip out to Venderbite, I think. And maybe stop at Wither. Just so we don't have to do it later. Yeah, look at that. Meerkatch box of very angry dream snakes. But we'll go pick up some supply from here, just enough to get us up and back. So I think 10 should be fine. Really should sell these Foxfire candles. We'll probably use them somewhere, though. So we'll probably just keep them in our hold. They are taking up space, but we do have space to spare at the moment. And let's go take a short jaunt over to Venderbite and Wither. Remember to turn in the very angry box with the Irigo. Yes, they'll both, I think they should both show up as options for me to turn into the first curator when we go to his menu. I'm assuming, at least. I really hope he doesn't need that box of snakes, the Angry Dream snakes, to build the engine. It didn't list that as one of his things, but you never know. And we can actually test out our Sea Beast combat on some lifebergs, since we're actually heading up to Wither. We have been mentioning that we're going to try to fight them at a certain point for a long time now, but we've actually not gone up there for very long. Oh wow, we didn't kill it in one hit. Color me surprised. So we can finally test out our new cannons on him, though they're not really new at this point. Picked up some fuel, that's not too bad. Given the fact that you can sell them implies you get more than one. Ooh, that's true. Because we could sell, well, hopefully. I mean, maybe you can sell something you can only get one of. I'm sure this game, of all games, would give you the ability to screw yourself over like that, but maybe we can just make him sleep with more mirror catch boxes nearby? Yeah, no clue. We do know how to get them made, so... So, now that we're up here, we'll lure the captains to rack again. City is still thriving, and we will, of course, grab a port report and attend to the first curator. So, let's give it your eyeless skull first, since we got that one first. Let's give it to him in order. Yes, I want to forget. A waiting pedestal. At its direction, you place the skull atop the dripstone pedestal. Did I read that as at its pedestal? At its direction, you place the skull atop a dripstone pedestal. A stalagmite once, now carved with crockets and grimacing faces. Irrigo sparks crawl across it. For a moment, you forget what you were doing. Thank you, the curator whispers. Perhaps you have saved me from the sanatorium, and perhaps the emergence will be less painful. Its chest pulses feebly. You accept a single huge black pearl. The curator's fancies grow worse, but it pays well. We've gained a captivating treasure, but we have lost the eyeless skull. Considering what it was giving, I don't think it was that great anyway. I like our little rat friend. We'll never tell him that his island was destroyed. He'll live in peaceful ignorance. But let's also give him our mirror catch box full of very angry dream snakes. Oh my. They are cross. A tomb dry tuckle. They won't stay imprisoned long, but longer than I will. It becomes motionless, for so long that you wonder if it is finally truly dead. At last it expels a rattling breath and points wordlessly at a cloisonne mask? Cloisonne? Masked on a trophy stand, half visible in the gloom. Elder continent, it wheezes, made within sight of the mountain. Wear it and think of me. Another captivating treasure from him. So I can definitely turn 2 of these into heirlooms, at the very least. And I think we are 2 colors short, one of which we already know. Both of which I think, actually, we already know how to get. We know that we can get Violent from somewhere. But Gant, we probably get from the Gant pole. Violent ink. I swear I've seen that somewhere. Maybe at the Empire of Hands, thinking back to it. I'm not quite sure. But we are practically done with this quest, which I really never thought we would be, considering how long it took us to get started. We do have a significantly better grasp of the locations now, but man, I'm still surprised. We'll go explore Venderbite, which has brought us to the Vengeance of Jonah. Do we need our terror reduced? 60 echo? Probably not. And we'll just... Well, maybe we'll sell some Foxfire candles. Nah, we'll keep them. I feel like they'll come in handy, especially since we're going to the Frostbound. I think it mentioned that we needed candles there. So... yeah, keeping those on will be good. Whenever we go and help the tireless mechanic do whatever he wants in Frostbound's castle, I think it is? The Nightmare's back. No, hell no. Hard to leave. Gained 20 terror. I hate the nightmares so much. It at least went down, I guess. God. Nightmares suck. They are just the worst. Let's go blow up some bats to make ourselves feel better. That's why you almost died. You were at 9 strength. I've missed something here. Yeah, nine nightmare strength. Yeah, I have accumulated so much from, I think it was like 2 failed attempts. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely absurd. I gained like 50 terror in a single shot. It was oh so problematic, and it's still a big problem. But I'm not even going to bother trying with it anymore unless I am literally in a port. But we'll go pick up the corpses, whatever. Free food, resupply. And we'll go and search for lifebergs to go test that out on. The higher the strength, the worse the failures are. Yeah, at this strength, it's practically insta-killed. There we go, a lifeberg. So that one doesn't go away, right? There we go. Oh god, back up faster. Stop. Don't touch me, Ah! Okay, so that Scintillix is actually really good. It doesn't consume it at all when we use it. Like we were kind of worried it would. And it recharges every 20 seconds, I think it said. So, really good for combat. We'll definitely not get rid of that. Oh, no, you're not getting away, sir. Come back here. I can take you on. There we go, a lifeberg. You've destroyed a lifeberg. Take a moment to enjoy your victory, then poke through the fragments. Supplies or treasures? I'd say treasures. Concentrate on gathering treasures. You'll need the money more than edibles. And for the replenishing supplies, it's big. There may be something edible or combustible in there somewhere. Yeah, we'll just do this. Apparently this isn't a check. Dark fragments. Fragments gleam like obsidian in the depths of the ice. Their glassy blackness recalls Mount Nomad, the predatory terrain feature which haunts the blackness of Void's approach. What is the connection? Okay, so that's where Mount Nomad patrols. We've seen him before, but I never internalized where exactly it is. Apparently is in Void's approach, which is, I believe, right outside of Avid Horizon. I think this area, estimatably, is where Void's approaches. There has been just text down on the bottom, down here, when we've been around that area, indicating that it would be over there. But that's actually pretty nice, getting outlandish artifacts and hunting trophies. It's from lifebergs. That's pretty great. Apparently, if you fail a confront check, you get terror increase of 5 times its current strength. Wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, failing a confront check at this point would be awful. Yeah, so no wonder it got 50 terror the last time we did it. That was, I guess, when we were at 10 as well. But we've made it up to Wither. Shall we check in at the House of the Question? We can gain the gods' attentions. Shall I? I suppose I have Z stories to spare, right? Oh, but it does cost a secret. You know what? What the heck? We'll regain Salt's attention here. And head into Withern. He did want us to go here, right? So there's no interaction. Ah, I see. And if we ever get serpent traps, we can't actually get more dream snakes from the mechanic sleeping. That is a repeatable thing. So that was correct. We'll go grab the port report. I guess we explore? Yeah. So let's explore the town. Maybe we'll find whoever it is. But we did not. Was it Codex instead? I swear it was Wither that this guy wanted us to grab the sage fellow. Well, since we're here, whatever, I'm feeling brave. Let's try something mysterious. 5 hunger and 5 terror gained, because it was a failure. Wow, our hearts is already up to 75? That I did not expect. But, we failed that. I'm surprised that we haven't found the guy. Maybe it's the drowned man? Maybe that's somehow the sage? I guess let's ask about it. The initiates of the house are reluctant to speak of him, but you may be able to bribe them enough to gain a few tenuous snippets. Sure, we'll spend 100 fragments. But that's not it either. And I thought we had selected this option too. The end and the beginning. He's not a god. He came from the north, where it is too cold for gods, and to the north he will return. If you go north, nothing of you will remain. So where the heck is this dude's thing? Okay, I'm going to go check over to Codex. We're going to take a quick hop over there. Oh my god, 2 lifebergs just circling up there. They're kind of doing a dance with each other. I don't think that's intentional behavior. Can we take advantage of this, actually? No, they're going to swim off. Okay, well. I'm not really intent on fighting them. If they follow me, then I'll deal with them, but... for now, we'll call it good to just head on out. Now. No, there's nothing at Codex either. So maybe we did need that mirror catch box. Well, I hope we can get another one. Or, not the mirror catch box, the serpent trap. I hope we can get another one from anywhere, really. And I suppose while we're up here, we can return to the Ragged Crow, see what our next task from the nearly dead man is. Assuming there is a next task. There might not be. Though, admittedly, we did not plan our supplies for so long a journey. We've got crewmen to spare. We've got, we've got people jerky in town. And we actually got fragments from looking at that tyrant moth there. So not just the nearly dead man. Actually, the first curator, his chest was rippling like he had a tyrant moth in him too. I assume that's what's in the nearly dead man here, because there are moths all around this chamber. There's a gigantic tyrant moth outside of the tower. Pretty sure that is what's infesting everything. Stock here. Now let's go consider our likely lass here. Don't you dare forget me. You stand on a bridge, the likely lass's locket in your hand. Let's keep it. It's a risk for both of you. Shorebound lovers grow lonely and Z captains die young, but we'll keep it. Close your hand over the locket. The Z air is cold, but the heat of your blood has warmed the metal of the locket. Keep it close. And we now have a sweetheart in London. And, great. We've forgotten about our, liaison with, let's call it a liaison with the Clatterier, so that has been forgotten. We're all good here. It's not going to affect it, hopefully. But, in the Undercrow, we'll go and bestow the Latitudinarian's forgiveness on the almost dead man. He has less to apologize for than he thought. Just like that, forgiven. The almost dead man is agape. He insists you repeat the exchange, probing it for falsehood or insincerity. Then he shakes his head with some effort and releases an immense sigh. For a moment, he resembles a bloated, beatific cherub. And he has one last letter for us. Deliver a final letter to the burning lady in Antha. One last message the almost dead man clutches it to his chest. The third letter. She was... The man's voice catches. With his trembling hand, he caresses the decorated R on the seal. I never should have left her. The old man's fingers are loath to release the letter. When they do, the most moth trembles in his chest. Yeah, so we have confirmed that it is a moth in his chest. The incomparable Aurelian has the decency to look away. And now we need to head to Antha. To go deliver the final letter for the almost dead man. And we'll go grab a report. We are here. Might as well. And from here, well, we've reconned something. I think we'll just spend the majority of our time underwater, making our way slowly back to Fallen London. We might stop by Demuth Island again, pick up a report, maybe some free supply there. But it is very dark, very empty, hopefully, underwater here. Oh, look at that. Oh, don't look at that. That's, a wreck ship. Okay. That is... Ooh, something that's got a bead on us. Wow, it is rotating super fast. What the heck? How come he can rotate like that? There we go. Now we got on his aft. We got him. Oh my god, what the heck is that? It's a stingray with a face. What the heck's that? Ow. I mean, we're doing fine. We're doing all right. Okay, at least the stingray with a face is not coming after us here too hard. I'm just gonna bump into this guy. I'm just gonna nudge into him. Go and deal with the wreck ship. There we go. You've defeated a wreck ship. There, it makes a much more convincing wreck now that you've finished with it. So we can send a boarding party or destroy them utterly. So I think, yeah, these guys are just masquerading as a wrecked out ship. We haven't actually seen a wrecked ship down here, I don't think. So I guess these guys are masquerading as a wrecked ship that might exist somewhere. Let's go send a boarding party here. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, you know. Go over to your neighbor, send your kids over to a neighbor's house, and you're like, yeah, don't do anything bad at the party, like massacring the entire crew or anything. But we got a pretty good chance of boarding them here. Quick as you like. You can't prepare a boarding party. Any plane goes out of the porthole the minute your boots touch the deck of the strange vessel. In this case, it seems these pirates like to play dead in person as well. Fortunately, your crew aren't the kind to be fooled twice. They returned with clean cutlasses and bloodied boots. Some are even smiling. We've gained fuel, 2 supply, and quite a bit of echo, actually. 104? It's not too bad. Oh, beloved! So this is actually another thing that the fading horror specs in the Gant poll wanted. Sure, we'll go deal with it. Oh. Oh, no, but it's so happy. Does it... I kind of feel bad killing this thing. Look, it doesn't want to attack us. Oh, no. Do I kill it? Is it just really blind? We'll get it one shot from death. Hello. Hello. Are you good? He's surprised. Is he going to attack? Yeah, he's going to attack. Okay, well, they're just really blind then. I think is the case there. You've defeated a beloved. A cloud of oily bubbles signals the beast's end. Its interminable, yeah, I got that right the first time, cool. Refrain of moans and burbles and plaintive whistles finally dies away like a harmonium going down a drain. We can either fill it for supplies. Anything that puts up such a fuss must be edible. This thing didn't put up any fuss. What? Fortunately, we already have a... Not quite a catch. A kill-ish. A mortal wounded beast going to the Gantt pole, so we can't actually select this option. We could dissect it for knowledge, or just gut it for supplies. Oh, I feel bad about killing this thing. Look at that face. Oh man, I feel bad now. I guess we know why they're called beloveds. We'll try not to harm these things. So I think most of the Fading Haruspex's requests for us to kill were mostly underwater beasties, because we hadn't seen a lot of them. At this point, we've sailed the entirety of the Sunless Sea back and forth multiple times. So I think that a majority of them, with the possible exception of the behemoth stashes, must just be underwater beasties. But I think, yeah, we'll just take it for knowledge here. Might as well for the first try. A job half done. And there I was hoping you'd found me a challenge, the surgeon sighs, setting aside a cleaver and reaching for the pliers instead. The beloved's underside is a network of old and overlaid scars, as though it had been assembled and stitched together over and over. The thing is more patchwork than creature. Who or what could have had the power to put it back together and send it on its way? Interesting. So we've actually seen a lot of mechanical sea beasts. There are the sharks. They're like bound sharks, I think they're called, that have been put in some sort of rigging. And now we have this thing, the beloved, which has been sewn up together. So there's very clearly something that I'm missing here. Something that I'm not quite getting. What is this to our right? What are you? Just a coral reef? I guess so. Oops. No, I meant to go... Oh god, we're running out of oxygen. Okay, we'll resurface here. We are practically at Guider's Morn anyway, so... There we go. Or, sorry, not Guider's Morn, Demu Island. We'll go and stop off here. Maybe grab some food. Fortunately, we did just eat. Literally just then. There we go. We'll grab the port report, of course. Don't think we need any more zailors. Maybe for next time. For now, though, our supplies are critical. So we'll take tea with a factor instead. That'll reduce our terror a little bit, and he will get us some mushrooms to be carted aboard the ship as supplies, along with some fragments, which is always pretty nice. Beyond that, I think we're all good here. We will go sail directly back to Fallen London. There's not too much on the way. In fact, there's nothing on the way that we need to do. Oh yes, one thing we should keep in mind is that the claymen are not, in fact, an immediate deposit. Once you get to Fallen London, you actually have the choice of doing that. So if we do end up picking up more claymen, we will be able to deliver them when we see fit, if we happen to need them for any other reasons, including if we need them for more snake traps. I think that's the one. More snake traps. I hope we don't have to come to Hunter's Keep every single time, though. That would be moderately inconvenient if we wanted to make a bunch of them. Though I suppose we could make a bunch at once. Maybe that's a good way of making money. I can't recall what the prices they were mentioning for the mirror catch boxes full of very angry dream snakes. Can't recall if that was a good price or not. But if it is decent as I expect the difficulty of the box to get would suggest, then that might be our next money-making opportunity. Just have our grab a few mirror catch boxes, grab a few claymen, and convert them into serpent traps. And just have our guys sleep and sleep and sleep until we can trap all the snakes. Hopefully not in Hunter's Keep. Yeah, we don't have anything, buddy. Don't worry. Right? We don't have anything? Yeah, we don't have anything. So, if I go and look around here in our undersea economy, Khan's Shadow, I want to say, was the one? No, perhaps not. Where did we have the mirror catch box of very angry dream snakes pop up? I swear we've seen that before somewhere. Well, I'll have to look through everything there. For now, we'll go and submit our port reports, the extra port reports we've gotten, to the Dark Spectacled Admiral here. For Venderbite, Wither, Codex, and Debu Island. Oh, and the Undercrow, right. And nap in our lodgings to get a restful night. And while we're here, since we do have a bunch of captivating treasures, we'll convert 2 of them into heirlooms. We'll keep 1 on us, just for the in case we need them. Nothing to do in the Brass Embassy. We could trade 1 vital intelligence into the Voracious Diplomat, but I like keeping a spare. That'll be a good idea to have one. Labyrinth of Tigers is also not anything we need to do at, so there's not too much here. Could carouse again. We can also pick up a cheap Zailor. Might as well. But I think if we carouse, we would not be able to trade in our Rose Market. And I think these 2 trades are not stellar. Long boxes and Watchful Curios. Watchful Curios are very distant, and long boxes are pretty expensive to acquire. So we'll just cycle that eventually. I think with that, we'll call it a stream. We didn't quite get what we wanted to do today done. We set off with the initial intention of going around and clearing a few quests, which we did do. But we'd intended to kill a Lornfluke, and while we killed a few sea beasties, none of them ended up being the Lornfluke. We did kind of go around the north side of the map, ended up helping out our tireless mechanic, who we think will give us an engine. That's what his text is how I interpret his text to mean. If I phrase this completely, how I am interpreting his text is that he will give us an engine here. But we do have a bit more to go for. We're getting a little stuck on Wither. We can't seem to find his sage friend there, and we might need the mirror catch box to lure him out, perhaps. So, sorry, not the mirror catch box. Actually, yes, a mirror catch box full of very angry dream snakes. So if we do need another one of those, we'll need to go to Khan's Heart to grab a mirror catch box, an empty mirror catch box, and Polythreme to grab the Claymen, then possibly book it back to Hunter's Keep to convert both of those into serpent traps, so we can catch some more. And we'll have to look through our charts here, our charts of the undersea economy, to see where exactly, I'm pretty sure it was one of these areas over here, but where exactly we can sell those mirror catch boxes full of very angry dream snakes for profit, and see how much it actually ends up coming to. Other than that, I'd say it was a decent day for discovering things. We found a few beasties here and there. We finally sank a behemoth stash and sent it over to the Gant Pole in vicious revenge for the murder of our sister, Madam Sir Helga, our previous captain here, from long ago. So we'll need to go to the Gant Pole eventually. We also sailed off, finally, at the bottom of the map, next to Adam's Way. It didn't quite work as well as I thought. I thought for sure we'd be able to pick up more Zailors there after we we lost almost the entirety of our crew. Everybody saw save for one. That didn't quite end up happening. We had to kind of scooch our way back home, but we made it all right. We did okay. Our ship is quite tanky. It's a beefy fellow now, so we're all good there. We have finally improved the living situation in Rack tremendously, and we have the option of befriending the king, turning him into a romantic interest, and presumably once we finish with the knife backstories, turning him into a rival. But I think I'll probably go with the friend option. That seems the best for me. We will probably end up at some point sailing off the western side of the map as well as the eastern side of the map. The eastern side is obviously the easiest. We'll have to sneak by the Dawn Machine on the western side somehow, and I'm not exactly sure how. Maybe we can just sail right over it. I can't really tell. Sometimes the art in this is a little difficult to parse. But that'll be a thing for next time. We'll try sailing off one of the edges, maybe a little bit more preparedly, since we don't really know exactly what it's going to do. We'll see if we can make a new little trade route for those mirror catch boxes of the snakes. I'm just gonna shorten it down. The mirror catch snake boxes. A few of the Dawn Machine rings you can sail under. Oh, okay, that's good. And we will try hunting Lorn Flukes next time. We know that we actually have to bring a sunlight-filled mirror catch box over to Adam's Way to go complete our Bandaged Poissonier's quest to get an elegiac cockatoo. So we'll have to go and do that. Maybe pick it up at Aestival since it is kind of far east. Far east on the map. We'll just have to risk the wound. Beyond that, we'll maybe find the Tireless Mechanic's friend over in Venderbite. Over in Withern or Codex or wherever it says. I forgot to write it down immediately when we actually had the quest tab up, so maybe I'm looking in entirely the wrong location. We'll try to get those Lorn Fluke cores, maybe just one if we end up getting the Elegiac Cockatoo in Adam's Way for the principals in Port Cecil. We'll go and tick that off the box. And we'll probably start hunting some more things. Our ship, we've determined, is pretty hardy. We get a lot of defense. We got a lot of health to work with now, so I don't need to be quite so scared of taking on nasty beasties around the sea. Though, of course, we don't want to get caught out in a unfortunate situation on the sea, in a situation where we are out of sorts when we get attacked. So we'll always want to set that up carefully. But maybe we'll go for some of the bosses. We do need to get the figurehead of the Eater of Names. That is one of the things we have, and we know that that sails around the Chelinet. We now have a location for Mount Nomad. It's somewhere in this area up here. I forget exactly what it's called. It's Something's Approach, which should be around Avid Horizon, if I can recall the messages that we receive at sea correctly. But those will all be things for next time. And the next time that I come back to Sunless Sea will be next Tuesday, 3 PST. That'll be when we come back and complete all this stuff. If you're not just interested in the Sunless Sea content, I will be also coming back tomorrow. We'll be playing more Sevtech Ages, which is a long-term industrialization-focused mod pack for Minecraft. We have just gotten our oil production going. We've converted that to naphtha and diesel, and we're powering a diesel generator with it. So we'll go and continue on there. We'll probably push a little bit more into industrialization. We'll get a little bit into magic. If you're interested in that at all, feel free to show up then tomorrow at 3 PST, same time. I hope to see you guys at one of those two situations. If not, I hope you guys find your own metaphorical river of blood, sail up it, and return with a valuable lesson and or gift. As for me, I'm going to head off. Cheers, everybody.